Welcome everyone to another session of Half-Rate Heroes. Thank you for joining us today. Previously on our adventures with this custom adventure, our group of heroes have just recently returned from the Feywild. Their reason for being in the Feywild was simple. The Feywild was beginning to encroach upon the material plane for some reason. We don't exactly know why. Our heroes had gone to investigate some missing children, and having found the children, they learned very simply by the aid of a satyr named Ticklebottom that there was a crystal that had been placed within the Feywild that was slowly eating away and feeding off of the Feywild's force. Destroyed this crystal and managed to return back. How many of the party completely forgot about what happened? So just the two, just Lafcadio and Nos. Everyone else has recollection of what occurred. Most of the children, all but one of them, also forgot what had happened. But the one remembers 10 years of existence within the Feywild. So, we rejoin the adventure as you guys are returning to the city of Silvery Moon, having successfully saved the children from the dangers of the forest. What would you like to do?
So, let me get this straight. There was this crystal that was sucking the life out of the Feywild, and Kale, it was affecting you as well, is that right? Or you might
You're
be
muted, Kale.
Yep.
Did I conduct myself bravely? Would Nabanyan be proud of what I did or didn't do?
No, you ran like a little girl.
Don't
Scream.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
I was just kidding.
I was gonna let him run with it.
Well,
So what did we do? I mean,
We killed stuff.
how did we fix the problem though?
Well, there
Kill
was this
stuff.
demon, and we killed it. And then we broke the crystal. Well, more importantly, you broke the crystal with your spear.
Cool.
Girl.
did
Yep.
do we have anything to remember our victory with? I mean, I guess the kids are ahead of us somewhere, so
They've already begun running back to town, eager to get out of the forest as quickly as possible.
any keepsakes or mementos?
I am wearing a hat for some reason.
Yeah, we got hats.
It's a nice hat.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Eh.
see, there be a story in that one, too.
I don't really like it that much. Tossed it on my shoulder.
There was these little bitty guys with way deep voices, sound like giants. And they were riding great big elks. And you just happened to hit him hard enough that his hat came flying off his head and landed on yours.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to remember that so bad. I'm gonna sit there and try my hardest to remember it.
Roll intelligence saving throw. Us.
Hey, not bad. I got a 17.
Okay. You don't remember, but at least you don't give yourself a headache trying to remember.
Well, that's good.
I would say Nos had probably the most memorable moment in my mind, where she crafted women out of meat to braid her hair.
Oh,
That
yeah.
sounds amazing.
It was really weird. I don't know if amazing is the word I would use, but as long as you were happy.
Ye had meat whores.
Nice. Did I? That
You
would be
didn't-
weird.
No, it didn't get too weird.
Okay. I apologize for anything that I might have done.
Other than meat whores not being too weird.
Yeah, bisque in motion is not something I ever thought I would see in my life.
It sounds delicious on so many levels.
Well, I'm glad I saw it anyway.
The Feywild is a magical, wonderful place.
It
I'm
really
really
is.
glad I missed this.
Now, there was some less comical things going on. Like we already covered the gray stone or crystal. We were told it was left by a large person with moving tattoos and gray skin. That's all we got.
And Yumi girl said that be a Goliath.
Could be a Goliath. It could also be a stone giant, maybe, if it was large. I don't know.
But
I don't
see what happened was the Shadowfell opened up in the Feywild.
Mhm.
So that was kind of freaky.
A little bit. So I suppose once we return these children, we should turn our attention back to the Shadowfell issue.
Or we could go back to the Feywild.
No. Let's not go back to the Feywild. 'Tis a silly place.
Out of character. So we did pick up those daggers and scythes.
Mm-hmm.
Who has those? Okay. Would you share that with Lefcadio?
Maybe.
Well, I'm just asking if we should try to sell them. Is all.
Oh, and then we also have the armor from the kids.
The
I
hide.
believe. The hide and leather armor.
But yeah, if you want to keep them, then obviously you keep them. But if you don't want to keep them, then
Let me pull up my Word document on how many there were.
Well, maybe we should give them back to the children, and then they can. They'll grow back into them, and they can have them if they need them.
That would be a nice gesture.
the kids' armor
I-
stuff.
I don't know how their parents will feel about us giving them weapons.
Well, if they're gonna eventually be out there, they might as well be armed and well protected.
Yes, I think it would be good to at least tell their parents the truth. And so if it'll be up to them at that point if they ever want to share that with their children.
Word. I mean, right. All right. Well, then
Word.
I guess we'll. How far are we from Silvery Moon? Can we see it from here?
Yeah, the forest that you guys had stepped into in order to go into the Feywild is right on the outside, practically just across the river and the street from Silvery Moon walled city proper. So you'll start heading back in. The children will have been running like crazy to get back, so they will have gone a little bit ahead of you. In a lot of energy in these little children as they tear off back towards the city. Going back in, with the Feywild closed off once again, the feeling that you guys had gotten the first time you had begun approaching the city of Silver Moon, of everything's just great and happy and fantastic and wonderful, is slowly starting to die down. You can almost feel the energy in the air just dropping once again. The knights in silver all immediately approach you. In attention, these soldiers dressed in very shiny, clean armor step up, not in an aggressive way, but more of an official manner, as they approach your group following these children. One will step forward. He pulls off his helmet to reveal a fairly young-looking elven individual, long white hair, light skin. Excuse me, but
What you
where
want?
did you... You will calm yourself down, Master Dwarf. I am simply trying to find out where you found the children. What is the manner of their rescue?
We found them in the Feywild, and they had been there for some time. They were adults at the time that we found them. Apparently, they had become storied heroes of the Feywilds during their tenure, and then they were turned back into children before we returned through the portal.
Oh, that's believable. And is there any danger of anything following them here?
I mean, of course, throughout all of history, as far as I know, there have been random occurrences of portals opening to and from the Feywild. However, I would say that it feels to me, just kind of got a general feeling in the air, that it won't be as prevalent as it has been in recent times.
Okay. Right.
Lord Mithrama sent us out into the Feywild to bring these children back. Might we have a word with Mithrama or these children's parents? They deserve to know how we found them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We just must cover a matter of, how do I put this? Security. As you know, the Feywild is a wondrous place with many strange occurrences that may happen there. You 5 were sent out not long ago and almost immediately returned with the missing children. As such, it is a little suspect, and we need to determine whether or not there is any foul play here, and if you really are the 5 we sent out.
I lean over to Wampum and whisper, "This guy's got the wrong end of a pole up his butt."
He's gonna have mine if he keeps on.
All 5 of us would be very happy to cooperate. He says,
Thank
not
you.
having heard the other 2.
I was whispering.
Yeah.
Wampum probably wasn't, though.
No,
No. He doesn't look too happy at you. A little bit down his nose at the dwarf in front of him. Would you all mind, awfully, if you were separated for individual questioning? Privately.
Not at all. I recommend questioning the children as well. Surely they'll be able to recount our stories as well.
Absolutely. The purpose of this is we're going to determine if all of you have the same story to tell. So, please, and a couple of the guards will step forward, each to guide each of you individually away from the center of the city here, off towards some of the guard posts outside.
hold on 1 minute there, Mr. Guard.
Yes, Master.
I need a brief minute with my compadre Kale here.
Right. That's not going to be possible. You see, part of the testing is to determine whether or not you can prove you are a group without having to communicate beforehand. So, no.
Okay.
Please. Very well. Then each of you are taken apart from the rest, and one by one begun to be questioned about what happened in the Feywild. Now, naturally, when the questions are approached to Lafcadio, your knowledge is very much unclear, obviously, because you don't remember anything that happened. But in particular, they they begin to ask questions about your companions. Tell me, the dwarf that is with you, what is his temperament in stressful situations?
You mean Wampum? He's the dwarfiest dwarf that ever dwarfed. He's like, if you thought about a dwarf you heard from some story that your parents have told you, that's him. He's just like right out of a story about dwarves. That's him.
Right. So he's just another dwarf.
Right.
Very well. Thank you. We zip over to other questionings. Wampum, the guard person that is talking to you, questions you a little bit about the things that happened. You tell them the truth, or do you lie? Like, are you fairly open about what happened in the Feywild?
Oh, no, I tell him tale by tale what happened.
Oh. Along with that, they start to question you about your companions. And particularly, they ask, so the half-elf that is in your person. Yeah. We have been led to believe that as an individual of Fey ancestry, maybe he is more attuned to the Feywild than others may be. Perhaps you can tell me a little bit about his history. Tell me a little bit about your half-elf companion.
Mr. Kale you be speaking of.
Yes, that one.
Mr. Kale be a right good gentleman, I'd say. I mean, he be a cleric. He keeps us healed, keeps us alive. He also is very knowledgeable, I'd say.
Right.
Okay. And him being that Fey ancestry that you be talking about. Yes, when we was in that Fey wild place there, yes, he did some guiding to us, so we be in the right place at the right time, I'd say.
Okay. All right, fair enough. We move across to those questioning Kale now. These questions, they don't ask a single thing about what happened in the Feywild to you. Interestingly enough, their questions all seem to be based around your activities prior to entering the Feywild. They want to know, how do you know Methrama Arusume, the High Marshal? You, an individual who we've not met before, suddenly getting an audience with the High Marshal. What's the story behind that?
Well, I'm sure you heard of the great game that was organized by Lord Belvedere back in Neverwinter, not too long ago at this point. My companions and I all participated in that game, and as a result of winning, Lord Belvedere sent us to speak with Mithrama about the issue of the missing children.
Interesting. Now, we need to know something about your companion, the Tiefling.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you known this individual?
We met in Neverwinter during the games, actually.
Okay.
So, like a month, I think. A couple weeks.
Yeah, like 2 weeks' time, not even that.
Like a fortnight?
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. What kind of activities would you say that your tiefling likes to keep himself busy with?
She is particularly gregarious and enjoys collecting and distributing gifts of various kinds to folks.
Interesting. Then it would shock you to know that nearly 2 months ago, we had a string of burglaries within our grand city. Rumor has it a tiefling was involved and left little trinkets behind as mementos of their behavior. Does this sound like it could be your friend, the tiefling?
mean, of course it could be, but only because the suspect is another, tiefling. But aside from that, I've never known her particularly to be um, avaricious in any way. I'm not sure what would motivate her to steal anything. And if she did, I suppose it would be conceivable that she would leave trinkets behind, but that doesn't seem like something that would be particularly wise. As to whether or not she is particularly wise, it's difficult for me to say.
Fair enough. Moving over to the tiefling, they spend about an hour just staring at you. They don't ask a single question.
Perfect. I kick my legs up onto the table and relax, recline all the way back, and just stare back at them and smile. And I don't say a thing, I just look at them.
Okay. No, Carl, no. All right. Moving on from Ali, Nos. They approach you and they place you in this really dark kind of secluded room off to the side of one of the guard posts within along the wall. You have to pass through the barracks where you can see bunk beds, and you're in basically a supply closet of all sorts of things. And they sit you down on top of a bucket, and an elven individual, particularly the one that had greeted you all, he just turns to you and asks for a recounting of what happened in the Feywild. What you know is fairly limited. What do you tell him?
First, I'm going to introduce myself properly as Nos the Red, give him a bow, offer a hand.
Right. He keeps his hands to his side. And
I shake my own hand.
Why are you known as the Red?
Well, it's not exactly a point of pride, but where I come from, I was raised on the streets, and I wasn't given any particular formal training until I was well into my teen years, and so my fighting style was counted as somewhat barbaric, and I'd get myself pretty cut up in the process. So I would come out of battle red.
Right. And it's supposed to be special or impressive that a hobgoblin comes out of battle covered in blood? Barbaric?
I have no idea.
Well, you don't look like you're covered in blood here. Did you not need to do battle in the Feywild?
They said that, well, they didn't say that. I don't remember anything, first off. But my buddies included me into what went on. Yeah, and apparently I smashed hard.
Right.
Hey.
Good. So, tell me a little bit about that lion friend of yours. We don't get many tabaxi in this area, and we're just a little bit unsure about his temperament.
Oh, he's a kitten. His name is Lafcadio Whitehorn. He is not the sharpest tool in the kit, but his heart is in the right place. He comes from the Gultmere forest out east, and he is a devout servant of Nobanian, who we all know is awesome.
Nobanian. Haven't heard of many people serving Nobanian in a while. Any particular reason why he serves such a forgotten god?
I don't hang out. I never hung out in the Gultmere, so maybe it's a cultural thing. I mean, he's kind of a lion-looking tabaxi, so maybe he feels some kind of identification. I don't know. It's only speculation.
Fair enough. All right. Then after this brief interviewing goes by, seems... Yeah, go ahead.
I have introduced myself. Would you do me the respect of offering your name?
Uh, roll a persuasion check,
I'll say please.
because he doesn't want to give you his name.
12.
12. You may refer to me as Captain Sang.
Thank you. Well met, Captain Singh.
Yes. Anyways, they are finished with all of you and they let you back in. We have listened to the testimonies of the children, and while most of them can't corroborate anything that you've shared, one of them does prove to be fairly knowledgeable about such events, and as such, we thank you for your service to the city and your presence within the walled city. The gem that is Silvery Moon will always be protected. So always feel yourselves safe in our home. They then kind of dissipate and separate, and by now the children have kind of gathered to the place where you were let out, where the guards were questioning you. The children are joined with a few individuals, all human or half-elf of descent, obviously parents, and as soon as the guards separate, little feet come scurrying out and rushing towards you. Arms wide, they just grab hold of some portion of each of your bodies as they're giving you nice big hugs, jumping all around you, screaming and shouting your names. Thank you, thank you, thank you for saving us and helping us. There's an alarm going off.
I'm going to pick one of them up, the one that's on me, and I'm going to put him on my shoulders and kind of be goofy.
And he's having a... Excuse me. Someone's getting arrested somewhere in town. There we go.
They're playing the horns to welcome us in. It's like a parade. I had no idea.
After the children have kind of calmed down, having hugged and thanked you for saving them, one of the children particularly approaches the five of you. He's the only one that looks like he's been through a proper ordeal. His hair is kind of it's short but matted. His eyes just seem to sag as if he's exhausted and tired. This young little boy, probably no older than about 11, who you can assume has lived through his teen years in the Feywild and is now a child again, steps forward and introduces himself. My name is Jordan. Thank you for what you did back there. I don't know why you felt the need to save us, but thank you. Thank you.
It be our pleasure, Jordan.
The Feywild was quite a place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I could do without it.
I loved it.
Why are you surprised that someone came looking for you?
We had begun to lose hope. It still strikes me as strange that I've only been gone a few days, according to my parents. I've spent more time in the Feywild than I have in Silvery Moon.
I imagine that must be jarring for you to be back.
It just doesn't feel like home anymore. Do any of you, have you ever felt lost?
Yes.
How do you solve that?
You just keep going. You just keep going, and you gotta think every day about where you want to be. And the world is big, the world is vast, and you are not helpless or hopeless. You can do things. So find out what you want to do. Hone in on it. And then get it.
Do you think it is possible, and he kind of leans in a little bit closer, that I could go back?
Yeah, but that'd break your
course.
parents' heart, probably, right? I mean,
I guess.
you do have people here who love you, and if you remember everything about what went down when you were there, then they probably need your help more than you need theirs.
Okay. Thank you. Again, you're all heroes in our mind, all of you.
Hey.
Um,
Come here,
Yeah.
come here, real quick.
and kind of follows.
I'm gonna
He's small in comparison to your height.
pull
I
my
will-
cloak around him to where
Yes.
nobody else can see what's going on. And then I'm going to very stealthily try to pass him one of my bottles, my last bottle of whiskey.
Roll a
And I'd be
sleight of
like-
hand check.
Don't show this to anybody.
Okay.
Ooh, there aren't any guards around us, right? That's a
What
4.
was the
Natural
that
1.
was a 4?
Here you go!
The bottle of whiskey is a little bit too big for him to be able to hide. So after he steps out from underneath your cloak, he's kind of tried to sneak it up his sleeve. You can tell that it's sticking out, and his arm has got to stay straight in order to carry it. And people are staring at you. Clearly, you've handed them something.
I am gonna quickly go over to him, kind of open up my bag, and pull out one of the leather armors that belonged to one of the kids that we scooped up, and kind of hand it to him and push it against the item that was held, so that it covers
Okay.
it up. And
So you're trying to hide it. Yep.
yeah, assisted effort,
Okay,
and
fair
maybe give him one of the daggers.
He takes it. He is thankful. It's obvious that there's in his mind, he's an adult, and so his behavior, his demeanor to you is very much like an adult stuck in a child's body. He takes it and he thanks you, obviously, and then the crowds begin to dissipate. But as the children and their families, after thanking you, make their way out, there is one old man that's stood off to the side, waving a cane at you. Hello! Hello!
Hello.
Well,
Come.
I
Hello.
go over there. Yeah.
Hello. You've made quite a name for yourselves already, entering into this town.
What's the name?
Yeah, what are they saying about us?
What
Well,
are they-
they're just
what's the
calling
name
you
they use?
the heroes, those people that saved. I can hear myself. Someone. Okay, all right, I'm good. They just call you the heroes that saved the children. That's all.
It's not very catchy, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
With the workshop that a little bit.
Yes. I was wondering if you might be able to help me somewhat. I'm a
Maybe.
studious individual myself, and you seem to be quite the capable group.
Don't want to
And-
brag.
Would you mind following me to my workshop?
Oh, that's creepy. What's your workshop? What do you
Oh,
work
it's-
on in the shop?
Let me formally introduce myself to you. My name is Elvioldor, but
Mm,
most people just call me Elvi.
Elvia. Could you spell that for me, please?
Elvioldor. ELV
Mm-hmm.
IOLD
Mm-hmm.
UR.
Well, I wasn't
Elvio.
sure if old was in the middle there, but lo and behold, it was.
Yes.
Ah, I am Cale Irvine, and he will shut the book that he was just writing in and hold it up, and I'm going to draw an eyeball on this eventually, but he'll point to it, and it's the symbol of Denier. He says, I'm an adherent to Denier, so being a studious individual myself, I am definitely inclined to acquiesce to your request.
Wonderful.
Even though you're a little LV older than the people we're used to helping.
I don't like well,
Hey, Nos.
I don't get the joke she was trying to make.
You're old.
Nos. What the hell is acquiesce?
Barking up the wrong tree on this one.
It's like, well, use context clues. Abide by? Maybe?
I could guess.
What do you make in your workshop?
I make magic.
You make magic?
Well, I experiment with spells to manipulate them and alter their capabilities.
That sounds extremely dangerous. How long have you been doing that for?
Well, look at me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an old man.
Yeah,
I've obviously lived a very long time.
obviously.
To be able to do this, a few years.
Just a few years?
Yes.
3 or 4?
Close to 40 to 50.
40 to 50.
Something like that. I forgot after the first 35 or so.
That's a very
You still
long
have your
time.
eyebrows.
Yes,
Impressive.
that's what I was getting at. Yeah. I'm surprised that you've been engaging in this activity for so long and don't seem to have any... You look like a normal old person. You know, you don't got scars or marks or...
Well, that's the wonders of magic.
Sure.
Could you teach us?
No.
How rude of me. I didn't introduce my friends. Do you know all of our names already, actually, since we have a name? But do you know
don't know
our
your
individual
names.
names? All right, so this is Levkadia Whitehorn. He is a servant of Nimbanyan. This is Allie the Abyssal. She is a servant of no one. Of joy and happiness, I suppose. This is Nos the Red. She's a servant of battle, I guess. As
Timora.
is Timora, that's right. You followed Timora specifically. I forgot that that was happening.
And then Cloak Billows.
And this is a dwarf. This is Wampum Thunderbelly of the Thunderbelly clan from Mirabar. I'm sure you've heard of them. And he's a servant of his craft, no doubt, like any good dwarf.
Like most people, servants to what they do. Yes, let's go back to my workshop. I have much to discuss with you.
Where is your workshop? How far away is it?
Well,
Like in a dark alley?
No,
Underground?
not at all. Not at all. I pride myself in being one of the proprietors of the Vault of Sages here in Silverymoon.
Vault of Sages. So you would say that you have something of a name for yourself.
Yes, yes.
You're well known throughout town. Throughout Silvermoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
To some degree.
Is there anyone else around out of character? Like,
Right now, people are just kind of buzzing about. A couple locals are interested to just get a glimpse of you. You are becoming somewhat of a little folk hero kind of situation here, but most of the children and families have moved off, so there's very few people within actual earshot.
okay. I'd like to grab a random person, just like approach them very openly and say, "Excuse me."
Ah!
Excuse me.
Hello.
Come here.
What?
Do you know who this gentleman is? This old guy?
You see him nodding, and so
I'm gonna channel divinity
casual
read his,
person
read his
you grab.
thoughts.
Yes. Maybe. I mean, he looks like an old man. I mean, have I met him before? I'm not sure. He could be one of the sages. I don't know. These are all the mind thoughts of that person that you grabbed. They don't recognize this person.
You said the sages. I'll say that out loud, forgetting for a second that he wasn't speaking out loud. What do you mean by the sages? Like, what sages? What are you talking about?
Oh, I didn't know you were listening. Can you read my mind?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Okay.
I apologize for the intrusion, but I'm just trying to figure stuff out.
Well, the Silvery Moon is filled with lots of wizarding folk and mages that travel in and out constantly. The Vault of Sages does tend to have a lot of strange wizards moving in and out of it regularly for experiments and for security, whatever. All I know is that he looks like one of them. I don't know.
Okay.
I can assure you I am 100% legitimate. Look, feel me. I'm not an illusion.
I'm not gonna
Show
feel
us
you.
some magic.
You want us to follow you to your workshop and feel you, and you want to show us magic. You sound kind of like a creep, but we'll go. That's fine. We're adults.
Okay.
What's his head situation like? Does he have a full mane of hair, or is he balding, or still up there?
He's got a nice little bald patch on the crown, but everything else is still there. It's fairly short. It's kind of dark grey, like it's only really just recently started going grey.
I'm gonna give him a nice little head rub. Yep, he's real.
Good enough. And now I'll turn to the person I grabbed violently, apparently, and suggest to them for freezies before my channel divinity wears off. I said thank you for your help, and I suggest that you have a wonderful rest of your day. That's it.
As in, you were casting suggestion, or?
Yeah, because at the end of my channel divinity, I cast that suggestion on him for free.
Okay, fair enough. Then, thank you. I think I will have a very good day today.
Yeah, you better think that.
Yeah. Look, it's not really. We don't have to go to my workshop. I'm just. It just seems like a quiet place to talk, and I could show you some of the things I've been working on, and we could discuss some aid that you could provide me.
Of course, I would.
I'm gonna link arms with him and be like, "Lead on."
Yes, let's do it.
Thank you. If you don't mind, and he waves a hand and creates a floating disc, he'll sit on it and ask, "Do you mind just kind of pulling me along? These old bones and all."
How high does it float?
5 feet. No,
Wampum is going to walk up behind it and shove it as hard as he can.
And he'll be moving along. His disc is a little bit weird. If you've ever encountered the Tensor Floating Disc spell, this doesn't behave like that should. It's a little bit off. Proving his experimentations is a little bit strange.
Oh, how?
Typically, don't think. Can you actually ride your own Tensor's floating disc?
No, because that's like 20 feet away from you, so I guess it's off in that way.
Yeah, I mean the fact that he can sit on his own Tensor's floating disc is.
You can enchant it to do different things.
You can. I think.
Okay.
It's no one's experimented with that before, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's...
He's been experimenting with it. That's kind of the point.
Right, yeah.
So you, in a Yoda-like situation, he's floating on a little disc as walking and guiding you through the town. He points out some of the wonders and the beauties. I don't know if you've had a chance to visit Silvery Moon for very long, but and he points out the city as a whole. It's a beautiful place, filled with great trees, a wonderful arboreum in pretty much in the center. And as you walk past, he points out the I think it's called the Moon Bridge. That is almost a sacred or protected. It's one of those places that people tend to go to feel love and feel happiness, and it's a special kind of place there. It's very nice. And pushing on, he'll take you to a large palace-like structure. This here is the Vault of Sages, if you don't mind. And he knocks on the door, and it opens up. Hello, to whoever might be inside. It's just me, Helvi. I'm coming back. And I brought friends. I hope that's okay. The door opens a little bit wider. There's a gnome behind the door, wearing an eye patch, looking at you. Then pulls the eye patch over to the other eye. Looks at you again. Okay. Very well. Lets you all inside. And he leads you down the hall, through a room, in this plain building. The Vault of Sages looks very just straight marble, white, all over. Until you get into his room, where everything's colorful everywhere. Paint has been thrown over the wall, splattered on the floor and the ceiling. He's really tried to make this look as ridiculous as possible.
I like what you've done with the place.
Thank you. One of my first experiments. Chromatic orb gone wrong. Anyways, leading you in, he sits you down, or at least invites you to sit down and pours drinks. So let me explain the situation and myself. I particularly study the planes of existence, specifically the inner planes.
Right.
That would be the Shadowfell, the Feywild, the elemental planes of, the elemental planes, so fire, water, air, and earth, those ones. That's what I particularly enjoy studying. And I have spent a very long time studying the behavior and the relationship of the planes. Now, they've changed over the years and things have altered, but things have begun to change about the elemental planes in the past couple of weeks in a dramatic way, and I can't quite tell what's going on there. I suspect that you fellows might be able to help me, since you just delved into the Feywild. I need to know everything you know about what might be going wrong with the Feywild.
And what's the pay?
The pay? Do you like coin? I have coin.
Coin works.
Yes. He'll walk over to the side of the room, pull a heavy chest out, pops it open. You'll see it. The room almost seems to glow with gold as it opens up, and you almost in the back of your mind you can hear that angelic singing as the gold in his chest just seems to shine. Then he'll close it again. I have gold to pay.
That chest to do.
Not just for the information that I'm asking about the Feywild. I will pay you for other things as well. Consider me a sponsor.
All right, Mr. Sage. Let's test your knowledge here just a little bit.
Okay.
What kind of power would be required to open up the Shadowfell in the Feywild?
Well, that's kind of why I'm asking what happened in the Feywild, because that shouldn't actually be possible. The Feywild and the Shadowfell were torn apart from a bit or ill.
Well, give us some theories. You're an experimenter.
Yeah, you be the sage. So we be asking a question.
This is not exactly going the way I was hoping to. I'm looking to get information to help me with my theories.
I'll
You
tell you
have
what's
just
happening.
come out of the Feywild. What
Yes.
could really do with what you know.
All right, you want to know what's going on? I'll tell you what's
Yes.
going on. There are shady individuals with tattoos that trail up and down their body, bringing giant crystals that link the Shadowfell with the Feywild, causing it to bleed in and summon demons. We broke one crystal, and there's probably more in the other planes.
So what you be knowing about that?
Huh. Well, that's quite astute.
She holds
Tattooed
out her palm
fellows?
for
Ding. 1 gold coin. Yeah.
All right, we be telling you 2 stories so far, and you ain't answered one question yet.
I'm getting confused. That's the DM talking there. What was your question, Juan?
we're shaking him down.
You wanted to know just what his theories are? Is that
What power would be required to open up a portal in another plane from another plane?
Well, portals can be easily created via a myriad of different spells. You have the gate spell, which can open up a portal. Teleportation circles can be manipulated to open pathways within a particular plane. Plane shift spells, they would all open paths. If someone were to attune a particular portal, to keep it locked open, the energy required would begin to feed off of the magic in the area around it.
So that be possible to put that on a gem type thing?
Well, possibly. Did you happen to get any of the gem? Bring it back?
No, my partner over here shattered it.
Oh.
It kind of made her angry.
I don't remember anything, so just believe him.
Well, check your pockets. No,
I touched it.
maybe something fell in accidentally.
Oh yeah. My demon friend here, Allie.
Mm-hmm.
She did touch it.
You did. And actually, that brings you... as a demon, how did that feel?
It made it real cold.
It hurt, and it was cold.
Oh. Cold. Huh. Oh, well, anyway, okay, yes.
Can I see if his reaction to all of this is genuine?
Roll an insight check.
10.
Okay. Seems he's not surprised by your responses. I have been witnessing some changes. Particularly, here's a bit of information about the elemental planes of existence. They all seem to exist and blend together somewhat. So there is already evidence of 2 planes grouping together, particularly in places like where the plane of water mixes with the plane of air. You have glacial rifts. You have then the plane of earth with the plane of fire. As they mix together, they create volcanic lands. Everything kind of blends together at the edges. But the Shadowfell and the Feywild have never touched.
They did now.
They did, yes. According to what you're telling me, they did. I need to get a bit more information about the elemental planes in order to figure out what's going on with the Shadowfell and the Feywild.
So what ye be asking?
A little bit of a treasure hunt, as it were. You seem to be a fairly capable group.
Right there, it's in that chest.
Yes, and I will give you I'll give you 100 gold each for getting me each item on my list. How does that sound?
And how many items would that be?
4.
That's not that. Nah, let's double that price.
Roll a persuasion check.
Let's see. Persuasion, you say?
Yeah, persuasion.
8.
8. How about I give you half now and half later?
So that'd be 100 now and 100 later.
No.
Right.
No. 50 now per person, 50 once you get the item per item.
Well,
What y'all thinking?
let me get this straight. You want us to travel to each of these elemental planes, retrieve an item, and bring it back? Is that what you're asking?
Oh, no. I actually need the items to be able to send you to the elemental planes afterwards.
So where would we be hunting these items down?
Well, I have rumors and word of where we might be able to find these things. What I need to make this easier and understand, in order to conduct the spell I need to get you to these other planes, I need a forked metal rod attuned to each of the elemental planes. I believe I know where they are, but have duties to attend to here and am unable to go and get them. If you can collect these 4 items for me, I will pay you your dues, and then I can use them to be able to get more information about the state of these blended planes.
Do you have an ideal time frame for this?
As soon as possible. I mean, if things are starting to mix together, who knows what could happen.
Well, I think we had a mind to head back towards Neverwinter, and there was some trouble in between here and there that we might be checking in on. If you have a requirement that needs to be met right now, it would probably not. We would probably not be the best candidates for this position.
If that's the case, then I'll speak to another group of adventurers.
Now,
It's not absolutely vital. I mean, if you have other things you must attend to, of course, but solving this problem of the planes is important.
Yeah, but I thinking you be needing us more than we be needing you.
Probably.
So, make it worth our while.
Would you do it instantly and forget your other task if I were to make it 200 gold per person per item?
Yes.
Well, but mate, we got to talk about this.
Oh, wait a minute. They be yelling at me.
Okay.
Can you give us 10 minutes of privacy?
Sure. And he walks over to his chest, picks it up, and walks out of the room with the chest of gold. Because he's not that stupid.
Okay, so we got 200 gold per item, and maybe 4 items.
Right. I like the enthusiasm. It's endearing. I think we might have some. Everyone has their strengths, right? And this Elvie fella, he seems like a knowledgeable, sagely type fella. And
I don't know about too knowledgeable.
In our party, we have a very knowledgeable, friendly fella right here, Kale, and I think they'd get along very well. They could probably, talk for hours and learn all types of things from each other.
That'd be possible.
Meanwhile, we can go into town and sell all of these Feywild items that, as we're now heroes and of renown, would sell for an awfully high price.
It could be some nice stories attached to those. But we do have that issue with the Shadowfell opening up around Tribor, and I wonder if our time spent hunting down these items might cause problems to fellas, to the folks that live around Tribor. Do you think we should head back there and just check on things, or?
Perhaps if it wasn't completely urgent, we could take up his offer, collect half now, and work on it as we
This
pursue our
half
own
now
goals.
stuff.
He gets what
ain't gonna
he
do nothing
wants. We
half-ass.
get the freedom to choose what we want to pursue first.
Well, I don't want to take payment up front on something we don't intend to do. I guess is my concern there. If we think that the Shadowfell issues happening around Tribal are important enough for us to go back there, then accepting payment for something that is not a priority for us is probably unethical.
And I'd be not all that intelligent of a dwarf, but me common sense be saying that if he's going to have us go to plane to find these metal rod things, that might help us solving all this stuff. What you be thinking, Mr. Kale? You awful quiet.
So while all this has been happening, Kale's been kind of just wandering around the room looking at stuff. What kind of stuff is in this room? I know it's really colorful, but like what items are in there?
A lot of material components for spellcasting. A lot of different. You can see notes on different kinds of spells having been cast or experimented on. He's got books and shelves filled, like stuffed with notes of different spells and how they work and manipulate and all of that. You stand out immediately to see there's a lot of material components that you might be interested in.
Okay. Tabling that, Kale's going to look for a section of these bookshelves that have notes that look like they haven't been touched in a long time, like somewhere like on a bottom shelf somewhere that got stuck there 100 years ago or whatever. And he's just going to like grab a handful of them, and then he's going to sit down and he's going to lay his book out, and then he'll put the notes on top of the book and start saying some prayers and doing some hand motions to cast the divination spell, and it'll eat up the notes he grabbed.
Okay, so his oldest notes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. These notes that you grab seem to be an in-depth study and understanding of the spell plague.
Okay.
What happened and how it was reformed and that historical aspect.
Okay.
The book now contains a very detailed accounting of that.
Awesome.
Yo,
But
What?
for divination, I'm getting to this.
What is
The
divination?
divination
give you?
spell. It puts me in contact with my god or one of my god's servants, and I get to ask them a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days, and I get a truthful reply. So while they're still over there, maybe at this point, like Wampum's trying to flag him down, Kale's just not listening at all. He asks, of the two paths laying out before us, which of the two is more urgent?
They are intertwined. Doing one does not negate the ability to perform the other. Doing both is required.
Cool.
Okay.
That's the whole message?
That's the truthful reply that you get.
Okay.
Trying to sound as cryptic as I can whilst being clear that you can do both. Doesn't matter which order you do which in, but both must be completed to know the truth.
Okay. So he'll come to, and I imagine Wampum's like, going like, hey, yeah.
Mr. Carol, wake up, me son.
Yeah, yeah, I was just asking, which is more important, and I have no opinion. It doesn't matter. Neither I nor Denier has any opinion as to which one we should do first. They're both equally important. They are both related to one another. So, and of course, I'm not going to be asking for any coin for this. So whatever you guys want to do, just know that, I don't know, you won't be missing out on any opportunities, and you won't be doing any undue damage by picking one over the other.
Kale,
Oh,
I will selflessly take your share.
I believe I owe you anyway, so.
So you do be saying that both of these need to be done.
Correct.
So we shouldn't tell this old man to kick the bucket.
No, definitely not.
Okay, so what y'all think we do first?
Well, hold on. What do you mean by kick the bucket, first off?
to shove off, to shut up and get out.
Okay. Just still, I'm still not. You don't want him to die, right? You're not talking about telling him to die.
Nah, Dad be coming soon enough for what it looks like.
Fair enough.
Helen
Okay.
is snickering at this.
Just wanted to clear that up. I'm not too familiar, I guess, with
I be
dwarven phrases.
cutting off nobody's head, Mr. Kale.
That's good. We don't want any repeats. But great. Yeah, fine. Just as long as that's clear.
So you still ain't answering me question. What's up with all you people not answering a dwarf's question?
Which question did I not answer?
Which one do you want to do first?
Oh, I don't care.
See? I swear, you elves.
What do the rest of you want to do first?
I want to go back to the Feywild and see if we can find your mother.
Oh, shut up, Ellie.
So I don't think that's going to result in any payment for you.
Maybe she's rich.
Take care of that later. I don't think that's a really pressing issue right now.
Are you suggesting we hold Kale for ransom?
No, but suppose we go back to the Feywild. We could recover some pieces of the crystal that we failed to get, bring it back here for the sage to study, as well as see if in our time away from them, anything new has happened over there. Which would say, if there's another crystal already back there, indicates that the person behind it is still there, in which we could apprehend them and get more information.
Well, it's possible that what might happen is that we go into the Feywild and we carouse about and complete whatever task we go there to complete. And then we come back or travel to another plane somehow. And it turns out that we've been in the Feywild for years and we don't remember anything that happened. So we'd be back at square one, basically.
So, do we work with this old man first?
Well-
I mean, he does have a way for us to go into these plane type things.
Well, I think there's a few problems. There's the immediate problems of the things coming over from the Shadowfell, which is probably the symptom of a larger problem. And it looks like he's probably working on a solution for the larger problem. But in the meantime, there's still these problems, these smaller problems that might be causing folks to go missing or end up dead or lost in the Shadowfell.
So how about we tell the old man that we be doing what he be asking, but we got to finish our duties first.
I would feel comfortable prioritizing the things that are happening back out west a little bit. If he's agreeable to that, then by all means. We do have a way of traveling swiftly from place to place, thanks to the Hopper travel network. So if he's
I'd be no good at putting priority on things, but that be up to you small people.
all right, so does it sound like we're agreed that we'll hear him out, tell him our priority. We're gonna head out back out west,
That thing, yeah, that thing.
and then we'll see if we can stop and collect the items that he needs. Does that sound like a plan?
Okay.
Nos, you haven't weighed in at all.
She be awful quiet.
I just this kind of thing shouldn't be up to me. I know that much, and I also know that you're gonna be headed into trouble either way, so I'm with you.
Fair enough.
Oh, you know we gonna find trouble.
Yep, I'll be there.
Okay.
Alvy, you still about? Can you hear me?
Yes. I'm coming. And
Come
you
on,
hear the
wobble in
shuffling
here.
of feet. He drags the chest back inside, puts it underneath his desk. So,
Right.
have
Well,
you decided?
let's see the list. Let's see what you need, where you need us to go. We feel that there's a pressing need for our services out west, but we are working with some folks who have given us swift travel measures, so we could be back here very quickly with your items.
Well, all that simply I'm asking of you is I need to get a rod that is attuned to each elemental plane. Now, as of right now, I know the location of 2 of them. I am looking for the other 2. These aren't unique items, so you might be able to find them in other places. So if you do find them in other places, then great. Saves a lot of trouble. But the 2 that I know of is I have heard rumor that a local tavern in Olliston's Hold called the Flaming Flagon. There is a proprietor there who happens to have a tuning fork attuned to the elemental plane of water.
So that was in, where was that?
Olliston's Hold.
Alston.
It is just a few, like 2 days south of Everland along the Tribor, the Evermore Way, towards Tribor.
All right. And what of this other fork?
The other one, that is currently being used by some smiths in Citadel Felbar, the dwarven forges of Citadel Felbar.
Yeah.
They do happen to, or at least I believe they happen to have a tuning fork attuned to the plane of fire.
Okay.
If I have these items, I would be able to send someone to these elemental planes, and there we might be able to view any damage that might be occurring on these particular planes.
Now, another question, Mr. Sage.
Yes.
If you use these tuning things, do you have to destroy them?
No, I don't think so.
So when you be done with them, we could return them?
Oh, of course.
I'd just be asking, okay.
Yes.
I know that we've started discussing payment options, and you've got a lot of nice things here in your shop. I was wondering if it would be okay with everyone else if we consider other options other than just gold coins.
What'd be wrong with coin?
Can you enchant things?
Not that. Well, it depends if you're comfortable with it not exactly doing what you wanted it to do. I can enchant
so?
stuff, but it often comes out a little odd.
Odd? How so?
Like, I once enchanted a sword to be able to float. It also wouldn't shut up. It kept singing. It was an accident.
That sounds like yours, Allie.
I would totally go for that as payment.
Well, that's the problem. I'm not going to be able to replicate the results as it was an accident.
Surprise me.
That'd be two things that won't shut up.
I'd rather just give you gold. Enchanting something takes time. Takes weeks of work.
And do you have any previously enchanted items lying about that you have no use for?
Not really. Not here, no.
All right, we'll take the gold.
Okay. I do have other stuff. Diamonds, platinums,
You have diamonds?
silver, gold. Yes.
Well, how much? And how much are there any of them in dust form?
Well, we could dust them.
Sure. If you wouldn't mind, I would like as much of that as I can have.
Okay. How much did we agreed? 200 gold per person per item.
I thought you said 300.
Don't start with me, dwarf.
I'm just saying.
So, if you're willing to forgo your payment, I can give you 200 gold of powdered diamond per item that I'm asking for, which got the location of 2, so I could give you 400 gold worth of diamond dust.
Okay, mate. I know that some spells require components, so you're welcome. I'll happily also take diamond dust as payment.
All right. It doesn't need to all be dust. Preferably the first 300 gold worth should be not in dust. Or the first 500 would probably be better. But we can work that out
That's
later.
starting to be a high price.
Yes. Well, so if I'm allowed to have your share of Lefkadi, then that would be 800 gold pieces worth.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, 500 of that could be, or actually all of it could just be in diamonds. That'd be fine. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Well, like I don't know all the ins and outs of spellcasting, but this seems like something that might be tied to life. Is that the type of thing that you're looking for?
Yes, it's so I can bring anybody back if they die, basically.
Right. Well, I think that's an excellent investment.
And if we do want to go to the Shadowfell first, sir, I would need, or I would like, if you have available, a Sunburst amulet.
Sunburst amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look. I might. Unfortunately, I don't have one here. But
Where
I
do
do
you
know of where a sunburst amulet can be found.
Where's that?
Well, I have some friends and colleagues, bunch of mages, in a town known as Longsaddle. They happen to have quite a few sunburst amulets, and it's not far from Tribor, if you happen to have business in Tribor.
Okay. Cool.
You'll want to speak to Adrior Harple.
Adrior, Harpo, Adrior, and who is Adrior? Describe this person for me, please.
He is a gnome,
Mhm.
gnomish fellow. Blonde hair, wears a
Mhm.
pointy hat, likes the color blue. Smokes a pipe, but probably a little too much, if I'm honest. He smells a little bit of the smoke off the time. But he's a nice little fellow. One of the Harple wizards out there.
All right, good to know. So standard wizard. Okay, that's great.
No problem.
Yeah, I should introduce myself as someone that was sent by you, or that I'm an acquaintance of yours. I imagine that would be helpful, or will they care?
Yes. You could tell them that Elvie sent you. Actually, one second. He goes into his back room, starts pulling papers and things, and then pulls out a small little pouch. If you do find yourself over there and you do mention my name, tell them I'm sorry. And he gives you a little leather pouch. Jingles a little bit as he hands it. This is to pay off a debt.
What's inside of it?
He'll open it to show it's a bunch of rings, just gold, silver, platinum rings.
There's platinum rings in there?
There are platinum rings in there.
How many platinum
Used
rings?
to pay off his debt.
Yeah, well, I don't care about that. I already know that. How many platinum rings are in there?
There are 3 platinum rings in there. You'd
Okay.
have to get them appraised to see if they satisfy your cost. But there are platinum rings in there.
Okay. Good to know.
No problem.
All right. Yes, of course. I will deliver your message.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, and I'll pay the rest of you when you get my items.
Of course. Do you have the? Well, okay. We can't get paid now, right? I can't get the diamonds. At least 300 gold pieces worth of them now.
I can give you the diamonds.
I would like the
Or
diamonds.
I can pay
Now
the
and then
part.
half later.
What's that?
I thought it was half now, half later.
Well, the diamonds are to bring you guys back if you die, so I figure it may be pressing to have those before we set out.
And the amount of diamonds he's going to give you is approximately half now.
Okay, perfect.
Anyway, so.
Okay, that's out of the 800.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Perfect.
So he'll give you 500 gold, a diamond worth 500 gold and 300 gold worth of diamond dust. Right?
Okay.
That's what you need.
Or
is it the other way around?
No, that'd be fine. That'd be fine. He needs a diamond dust for greater restoration, so yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
He's giving me all that right now, or just?
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome, guys. This was a good trip. This guy turned out not to be a creep.
How come you got all ye stuff and we gotta wait to get paid?
Because my stuff can be used to raise the dead and cure sicknesses and illnesses. And your gold is not going to do that.
Well, while you guys are discussing this, I am going to head outside. Nos, would you like to come with me?
Need a bodyguard?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on it.
And we are going to head to the moon bridge.
Okay. So the two of you head out of the vault to the moon bridge. Are you doing anything out there?
I am going to go sightseeing, see if there's any tourist attraction stuff, and then eventually make my way towards Mithramar.
Okay.
I will do my best to look as imposing as possible beside her. Just
Fair enough. Would it be like, what do you want to do with Mithramar? Would it be worthwhile doing that?
To report in, as we have not
Rest of the-
reported in, except for the guards that question us.
Okay. Would it be worth waiting to do that with the rest of the party?
Yeah. So we do touristy stuff and wait.
Okay.
And then I'd also want to check out if there's a Temple of Lathander.
Inside Silvery Moon?
Mhm.
Okay. Roll an investigation check as you start exploring the city.
All right, first roll of the session.
It's been quite a few rolls so far.
That would be a 16 total.
As you look around, you do find a lot of temples within Silvery Moon. Particularly, they have a religious quarter that is proudly displays a few temples, 6 temples in total. Maliki, Ogma, Sylvanus, Soon, Timora, and Mistra. So you'll go looking at all of these temples, and Nos will notice a temple to Timora that kind of sticks out to her, but there isn't a temple to Lathander in Silvery Moon, unfortunately.
Nos, would you like to go check out the Temple of Timora?
Sure. Good to make friends.
I will motion for her to lead the way.
Walk in and be like, "What up, Silvery Moon? Nos is here!"
And your voice just seems to echo in an empty chamber. As you step through, it seems like a very quiet and empty place.
Well, that's disappointing.
Then you hear the sound of clicking locks, and someone does step out. Hi.
Hey, what it
Good
do?
afternoon.
Welcome to the Temple of Timora.
I'm Nos. I'm an affiliate of Westgate chapter.
Great. Well, it's good to see you.
Why is this place so empty?
We've not had a lot of good luck lately.
Well,
How
would
so?
seem. Well, a lot of the people in town tend to be very much favorable of other deities, so we don't have many patrons right now.
well, good on you for sticking it out. I'll give him a little
Well.
bump on the shoulder.
Eventually, the luck will come back. Eventually, we'll be prosperous again.
Let's see. Where's their statue? Where's their effigy?
It is just off to the side of the entrance. There is a small little shrine to Timora.
I'll pull out 5 gold. Plop it down.
Ah,
I will as
Well.
well.
thank you for your offering.
Don't thank me. I'm a servant. See? Medallion.
You can thank me if you want, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, sightseeing in Silver Moon, it's a very simple place, but everything seems to be directed towards mages. Everyone here travels here to be to study magic and to study things more for the love of studying than for the results. Very quickly, you find out that a lot of from what you can see, a lot of places have been started in being built. Oh. There are buildings that people have started and never finished because people cared more about the journey than the destination, with pretty much everything that has been going on over the past couple of years here. Decorations half completed and such, but people seeming comfortable with it. You'll hang out and visit the place a little bit, but eventually the rest of the party will step out, having concluded their deals early on. If you guys want to head to visit the palace where you'll meet with Methrama, you can do so. Is there anything else that you guys would like to be doing?
Can I get the name of the priest that spoke to us?
Mhm.
Temple at Timora.
Yep. The priest, he called himself Towen. T-O with a thing, W-E-N.
And do they need anything specifically?
Not
people.
necessarily, just more people. If you could, not a lot of people have been worshipping luck lately, worshipping Timora. So if you could spread the word, that would be appreciated.
That's about to change.
Okay.
I'm moving in. I'm shaking. I am the it.
Wonderful. I look forward to it.
Yeah, you do.
Anything
bye.
else you guys would be doing?
No, shopping for trinkets. Would probably be the gist.
Fair enough. What kind of trinkets are you going to be looking for?
An assortment. Shiny things, things that make noises that can cause distractions, things for pranks, magical items that aren't actually magical, they're just kind of weird failures.
You'll find a lot of places able to sell you autonomous toys. Tiny little toys that will move on their own after being activated. And you can get a little assortment of soldiers or animals and things like that for as much gold as you're willing to spend. You'll be able to find as much little trinkets as you can find.
Okay, I'll probably spend about 30 gold.
Okay.
On trinkets.
You'll get a few nice little trinkets.
And are there any Zentarum contacts that I know within Silvery Moon?
Not in Silver Moon. Okay. Silver Moon is controlled very heavily by the Lord's Alliance, and the Zentarum don't really have much of a foothold there anymore.
Perfect.
No problem. So, it's your adventure. What would you like to do now?
Well, we come this far. We supposed to go see Mithrama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go see Mithrama.
But I want to ask this guy more questions about stuff.
What would you like to know?
Oh, I want to know about all the spells he's making up. Oh, and I have to tell him, I have to apologize. I used some of your old notes to commune with my god or a proxy.
Well, that's okay. Just means I have more to study, more to do.
Well, I figured that information had been studied and archived already, which is why it was okay to get rid of, sort of.
Probably.
It wasn't gotten rid of. I mean, it was added.
Don't worry. The task of learning is its own reward. If I have to relearn something I lost a long time ago, then hey, I learned something new.
You get the right attitude, buddy. If you are you an adherent of like Maestra or Denier specifically? Maybe you want to be.
I've not really had much time for deities so much.
Why not?
I mean, I do like the teachings of Mistra, know of her history and what she did, but not in a worshipful kind of manner, but more of she's a nice person and I hope to meet her one day.
Fair enough. If you ever change your mind, look me up. I know you can probably cast the sending spell.
I'll probably find you. If you can get me an appointment with Denier, then that would be great.
Yeah, yeah. If I ever can do that, I can't right now. But if I can, I will be sure to let you know.
Good.
Oh,
yes.
Would you mind if?
Probably.
Never mind then.
Oh,
see ya.
What is it?
No,
What is it?
Bye. We're walking out. Come on, Leocadio. Waffle, let's go.
Sorry. What was it? What were you gonna ask?
No, nothing. Too late now.
Now I feel bad.
Screwed it
Nope,
up.
the adventure's not gonna go. No, we're gonna.
All right. Well, see you guys later. Bye bye.
He just. Okay, I've learned my lesson.
Come on back.
I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
boy.
right, good. You're back. All right, so you guys back in Silver Moon. You'll organize an appointment and a meeting with Methrama. He is currently in court with his advisors right now, discussing just courtly manners and issues, and so they will tell you to just go and find yourself a place to stay for the night, and Methrama will call you when he has time.
So should we get a room?
Yeah. Probably.
Yep, plenty of places in Silver Moon are open and available to be able to stay. There are various different taverns of different degrees of expense. So you're looking for what kind of level? Just casual, luxury. What are you for?
Comfortable.
I'm looking for the happening place.
What's happening to you?
I want some place that has a live band, plenty of good drinks. We just rescued some kids. We're here to celebrate.
Okay, all right. Then the best place in town would have to be Silver Moon's well-famous the Garden Inn. It is a party place, always a bard singing a song, having a good time. So you guys will rest there for the night.
Who did I get a lock of hair from?
You got a lock of hair from Derethra Shendrel.
Urethra, that's right. Okay. I'm gonna overnight. I'm gonna scry on her.
At what time of night do you scry on her?
Like shortly after sunset.
Okay. All right.
Kale, mate, before we go to bed, separately and whatnot, would you mind terribly updating Lord Belvedere, letting him know that mission accomplished, and get those mansions ready for us?
Yeah, we're Thanes.
Sure. I will do that. Send Belvedere. No problem, and I will. Did you want me to do it right now, right this second?
No, it's just a passing thought that occurred to me. Just wanted to make sure.
Okay, I'll do it right this second.
Okay.
I'll send Lord Belvedere. He'll pull out his book and flip it to the right page and start. He sends the spell. He says, hey, with like 6 Ys. Ventured to Feywild, cleared up problem, rescued children, dealing with Shadowfell soon.
Okay.
You can reply to this message.
The response that you get, great. That's sooner than expected. Glad I trusted in you. If you need anything else, you know who to ask.
Mikey.
Okay. He said, great, and if we need help from him, I know who he is.
Thanks, mate.
You're welcome.
Thane Thunderbelly. I kind of like that ring.
It does have a nice
So.
ring.
You cast Scrying on Derethra Shendro. Okay. After sundown, you'll watch as she's in her little office. They've begun rebuilding the tower. From what you can see, it looks almost like you're looking at her through a fog. Everything's a bit hazy and a bit dark. But she seems well. Everything seems fine. She's talking to someone. everything's well and good. I mean, Derethra Shendrel is going about her business as the Lord Protector of Tribor.
Okay. Well, I don't hear anything exciting.
I don't know if you get sound with scrying.
I can see and hear as if I were there.
So you can see and hear a particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you.
And
Does it
later on, it
say-
says
yeah.
you get a sensor within 10 feet of them. It says you can see and hear through
Alright,
the sensor
as
as
if
if
you
you
were
were there. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. She's talking to a member of her guard working on the rebuild of, discussing the rebuild of the tower, making sure everything is on track. Reports comes in that that the lights are still intact, but the shadows are starting to grow. These shadowy portals are getting worse, but so far, according to the people that she's talking to, the city has yet to be under actual attack.
So light's good, shadows bad.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
No problem. Then with that, yeah, what's up?
At dusk, I was gonna see if I could get some card games going. See if I could earn myself some coin.
Okay.
Allie will help, and I'm going to try and hustle people.
Okay.
Some sleight of hand.
Would you? So, do you have a Nos? Do you have a gaming set that you would be utilizing?
Well, yes, I do.
Okay. So, what skills will you be putting to the test to be able to earn money with this?
Prob's charisma.
You'll be using your charisma, so you'll be kind of like bluffing and how will
Inciting
that work?
and
Yeah.
bluffing, inciting, and I'm primarily going to use my proficiency with the playing card set. So
No,
will...
I know mechanically, yes, you'll be using the thing, but thematically, just trying to imagine if you're using
all the charisma
so
skills,
okay.
all of them.
Cool. Fair enough. All right, then go ahead and roll your gaming set proficiency.
It's a 13
13. All right.
with
Not bad.
advantage.
You do well. A couple people play with you not because they care so much about the game, but more they're interested to meet a card-playing hobgoblin in a cape. But you will end up earning yourself an additional 20 gold pieces.
Nice.
As a
And
result
whenever
of
I
the
win,
game
I'll
plan.
make my cloak billow.
And it will billow proudly quite regularly. Okay. And then, Ali, what were you doing?
Oh, I was gonna assist her in her card games.
Oh, fair enough. Cool. How would you assist?
I was going to show some cool magic tricks, like dexterously flipping cards like up my sleeves, having them pop out the other side.
So proving you can cheat.
Except I'm not going to play against them. I'm just going to be like, look at our playing cards. Come look at it.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. So
A hype
you
man.
guys, you do help.
Yeah.
You guys do well. You get that. As you all enjoy your evening, we will take a quick 15-minute break, and we will be back in 15 minutes. Join us then. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. After the break, thanks for sticking with us. We're refreshed, energized, ready to hit into action. So, you guys rest for the evening. Sleep well during the night, as the room is given to you for free for having saved the children. A single round also is provided. Only one, because they know that if they offer too much more, they'll be drank out of house.
Uncle and Nos can have mine because I'm busy creeping on people.
Yep. Your visions of Darathra will end just with a fairly confident feel that everything is okay. No too stress. Nothing too stressful down there. But bright and early in the morning, there is a member of the Royal Guard at the tavern, the Garden Inn, waiting for you in the tap room to escort you to Methrama Arusame's palace so that you can meet with him as you had requested. Is there anything that you need to do prior to meeting with the High Marshal?
Nope.
What do they have for food down there? Down at the bomb floor, like apples, stuff we can eat on the way.
Yeah, it's basic bread and cheese stuff that they have right now. So you can grab a handful of stuff and then take it out.
Awesome.
Okay.
Wampum will wash his beard and then rebraid it.
Wash.
Fair enough. As you make your way over to the palace, the guard that's leading you, the member of the palace entourage, starts to turn the party away from the palace. Starts leading you away from the building proper.
Mr. God.
Where you be going?
We're to meet with the High Marshal. He wants to discuss something with you outside the walls.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
Can I want to do an insight check. I don't
Roll an insight check.
necessarily believe him.
I'll go ahead and help you, Allie.
Perfect. So that would be a 15 total.
Okay. So, insight check from Wampum.
Oh, I just thought I was going to help you.
Well, are you able to explain how you could help someone tell if someone's lying? Like, how would you actually help them? If you can come up with a good enough way in which you help him, I'll give Ali advantage on this. Otherwise, you can just roll it yourself.
I'll just roll it.
Okay. Fair enough.
And that's a 12.
Okay. He seems fairly straightforward and simple. You can't really see any sort of ulterior motives behind what he's saying. The High Marshal would just like to be able to walk and talk at the same time outside of the prying eyes of anyone from inside the city is all. It's quite simple, straightforward. So he leads you off towards the western gate again, so outside the city.
You know, if ye be lying, there'll be a knot on your head.
Of course, but you don't see any reason to not believe him.
Well, because we ain't heading to the palace, we be heading out the gate.
Yeah. Okay. So he leads you through the western gate. The guards kind of step aside and lead you out there. It's just him and you as you go out into the fairly cold day. Clouds are beginning to gather. It seems like it's not going to be as fine a weather day as it was the past couple days. Brisk, cool breeze kind of just sways in past the entryway as you are now subject to the elements stepping outside the walls of the city. The High Marshal is just this way. He keeps leading you around the edge of the city. You'll keep going in a couple of moments. The High Marshal's not there. Don't worry.
Wampum is going to start grabbing his hammer a little harder.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna read this guy's mind.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to use your channel divinity to.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do.
Then, as you do so, you get his surface thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he gets to make a save on it if you want to do that.
Doesn't he make a save after? You get...
No. He makes a save against the initial effect, DC 17 Wisdom save, and then he doesn't get to save after that if he fails.
Okay. All right. Well, he rolled a 2, so.
Okie dokie.
All right. It should be around here somewhere. Where is it? Why isn't it? Come on. He told me that it would be out here. So
where is it you're supposed to be taking us?
the High Marshal wants to meet with you just south of the city, just outside the wall here. I was told that his tent would be set up and ready out here for you.
And surface thoughts.
He believes that.
Who told you this?
My superior, my commander, I was sent to collect you and take you outside the city and present you to the High Marshal, but he's not here.
Right. Well, I'm sure he's around here somewhere. We just got to keep looking,
Yeah,
right?
keep looking. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr.
Roll
Kale,
perception checks.
You want me to put a knot on his head?
No. Just keep it cool, man.
6.
We're doing perception checks, or all of us?
Perception checks, please, from everyone.
I rolled a 1.
13 plus
So
23.
Okay,
Woo.
good.
And a 17 from Wampum.
I got 7.
Well, Wampum, you notice, as well as... Does anyone have a passive perception of 15 or higher?
I got 16.
16. Okay, so those with passives high enough, plus Wampum. You hear a rustling coming from south of the city. Between some trees, some large creatures begin to shift out. The guide that you have with you, the member of the palace guard, visibly stops moving. He's terrified, absolutely terrified, frightened stiff, as you watch 3 large trolls come breaking out of the tree line in front of you, heading towards you,
Oh, great.
having been walked into a trap. He is terrified, and while you've still got your detect thoughts up, he wasn't expecting this. This scares. What do we do? What do we do?
Hide. I will use my suggestion spell to tell him to go hide.
Okay, he will run for it. I'd like everyone to roll initiative as 3 trolls come out of the tree line.
We should probably place ourselves appropriately.
Yeah. Feel free to move yourselves anywhere within 15 feet of your current position.
Can you tell us which direction we were headed?
If in fact, let me draw some walls, because you were walking along the city walls. So right now, I will just add in the walls.
Look at that.
Get to watch my map making skills as they go.
Duplicated.
That line is the wall to the city. As you guys start making your moving through, these things come out of the trees towards you. All right. So I already have Lafcadio and Nos by the looks of things. Wampum, what did you roll?
It's on the turn order. It's a 16.
Okay, you did a 16. Okay, cool.
16
Kale.
for me.
Okay, 16 for Ali and Kale.
20.
Nice.
Hold up.
Right. Let me just roll for the 3 trolls. You'll notice 2 of them look fairly standard, but the third looks a little bit bloated and bubbly.
It's not
Okay.
your garden variety troll there, mates.
No, it's not.
No, I'd say that it is not. Would it be reasonable to say I know that trolls don't like fire?
Yes, it would
Okay.
be reasonable to assume you need to fight them with fire.
All right.
Burn it. Burn it. All down.
So he'll shout that immediately as combat begins to break out. Just be like, hit him with fire!
Good tip, mate.
Okay. In which case, if everyone is in the turn order, we will jump right in. Top of the round is actually one of the trolls. As it breaks out of the tree line, it is going to charge forward for Wampum.
Crikey.
Arr! It is going to try to bite you, Wampum.
Okay.
That is a 17 to hit.
And I'm gonna repost that.
Okay. So it misses, I'm assuming.
Yes, and it misses.
All right.
And that would be a 20 to hit.
Okay. You will hit the thing. You crack against it.
And for 8 points of damage.
Okay. Then it will try to rake at you twice with its claws, coming up and down your chest as with each swipe. So a 13 to hit and a 22 to hit.
22 does it.
Okay, so the first one kind of just knocks you back. Doesn't really affect you, but the last one does cut into your flesh. That's 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Strong. Kale, what do you want to do?
I will hit that guy. So Kale will drop his walking stick, and he will head with his free hand. He's got his shield ready in one hand, and he holds up his other hand, and he says a quick word, and then a mote of flame shows up in his hand, and then he lobs it like a baseball, bah! Doing the firebolt.
Which one?
At the front. What, that guy?
Okay.
That Wampum just hit. So I gotta roll things. Plus 9, so 18.
18 is going to hit.
Oh boy, I'm gonna roll 2d10, everybody. Give me these. I rolled 12.
12. All right. So his flesh begins to burn and wobble, and he is on fire.
Then what do I want to do? I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move away over here, I guess, as close to the wall as possible.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Well, the other troll is going to come charging forward. What's its movement speed? It's 30 foot. So the nearest combatant to it just happens to also be Wampum. So again, a barrage of attacks come flurrying into to take on the dwarf. Bite attack for a natural 20. That's going to dig its teeth deep into your arm. Not your swinging arm, the other one. For 11 points piercing damage. And then 2 claw attacks. A 26 and a natural 1.
The 26 will hit.
Yep. So 13 points of slashing damage right across your back.
Gotcha.
Ali.
Yes, that's me. I will go towards Wampum to help him, and I will attack with my short sword. Boop, boop, boop. And then if I hit, I'll follow up with my crossbow. That would be a 15 to hit.
Okay. 15 will hit the creature.
Perfect. And that will be a sneak attack because Wampum is there.
Yep.
All right, I'll do the first. So 7 damage naturally, and then the 46.
Mm-hmm.
$10 damage plus the 7, so 17.
Okay.
And then I will fire my crossbow at him. Right at his ankle.
Okay.
And that would be a 9 total.
That's going to miss. The bolt just kind of falls to the ground in front of you. Okay. Anything else from you, Ali?
Then I will use my extra action to disengage.
Extra action?
Or not my extra action, but my roguish
Cunning action. Okay.
cunning action.
Cool.
To boop.
Wampum.
Okay. The one that has been getting hit, I am going to attack, and that's going to be a 26 to hit.
That's going to hit.
And roll me a DC 17 Wisdom save, please.
He fails the wisdom save.
So he is now frightened of me. He
Okay.
takes 13 points of damage plus another 5 points. So a total of 18 points of damage.
Okay. He's frightened of you, Wampum.
Yeah.
Why is he frightened of you?
Because I am beating my hammer, this thing right here, but this end of it, right
Okay.
to his groin.
Right. Okay. All right. So kind of an uppercut swing that would frighten any creature. Go ahead.
And then for my second attack, I am going to be laughing my little dwarf ass off, and I'm going to swing at him again.
Okay.
And let's see, standard. That's going to be a 28 to hit.
That is going to hit it.
And I am going to use my, I think it's deception attack. Hold on. That is going to be my distracting strike. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And the distracting strike already hit, so I'm sorry. Let me cancel that. Melee damage. For 12 points of damage plus another 7, so a total of 19 points of damage.
All right. Now, it's a distracting strike. What does that mean?
I am going to hit him in his kneecap, so he goes down to one knee, and the next person that attacks him has advantage.
Sweet. With the barrage of attacks that this guy has taken, he does, under your weight, just fall down to his knees. But you've actually dealt so much damage that one of his arms just falls off. This guy is looking almost dead from all of this. Anything else from you, Wampum?
Something. Since he is almost dead, I am going to action surge.
Okay.
And the other one that has not been hit yet, I'm going to attack that's only a 13 to hit.
Are you gonna do anything to the 13?
Yes, I am going to use my precision strike.
Okay.
And I'm going to add a 5 to that, so it's going to be an 18.
And that'll hit it.
So I'm still doing melee damage to him, so I'm not throwing it.
Nope.
which is 7 points of damage.
All right.
And my second attack. Oh, not 20.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So, melee damage. We're going to crit that. And we're doing 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. Now, all right. Cool. Anything else from you?
Nope, I'm just going to be pointing at the arm on the ground, saying, "You draw something."
Fair enough. Lafcadio. These two trolls, one is heavily injured, the other one is just barely wounded. And then you've got this big lumbering fellow behind. What are you going to do?
I'll grab my my rod of the Pact Keeper and hold it out and cast a wall of fire. And I can draw it if you like.
I can pull out a wall of fire that is prepared.
Even better.
Where would you like your wall of fire to be?
So I would like to start it in the middle of the troll that hasn't approached yet.
Okay.
And then I'd like to run it up to behind this first other troll, so not into him. And then back here so it's going to angle. It'll do a... Yeah, I like it. But I want the vertical line to be one notch over to encourage the troll to head to the left yet. So the one that starts in the fire makes a dex saving throw versus 18 spell save.
Which he fails.
All right, takes 15 fire damage.
Nice.
Oh, and because I am of the celestial variety, I will add my radiant soul damage, which is another +5.
To your charisma modifier. Okay, cool. Now, the wall of fire that you explode up, it's only hot from one side.
Correct.
So, which side is that?
So on this side, the side that would affect the trolls.
Fair enough. All right, cool. Anything else from you, Lafcadio, as you explode with this great ball of fire?
I'll cry out to the party. Mind the fire! It's hot! Up to about 10 feet out.
Yeah.
So, do the other two trolls take any damage from that?
Well,
Only if a creature ends its turn within 10 feet of the wall does it have to make an additional dexterity save against this.
correct. And the one that is currently, it looks like the fire is going through, so this guy, the intent is for it to be behind the troll. Yeah, perfect. That way it's not within 10 feet of Wampum. That was the idea.
Right, fair enough. All right. Then we move to Nos. What would you like to do, Nos?
I'm gonna start out by raging, and it will be a slow burn kind of teeth gritting rage.
I rage inwardly.
Yes. I'll run over to there, and this is the one that's armless? Question mark.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna poke him.
He's armless.
21 to hit.
21 does hit. Go ahead and kill that thing.
You got it. So much killing going on.
How do you kill it?
I'm going to lop its head off. Because if it doesn't have its brain, maybe it can't do the thing that it's known for doing.
Fair enough. So, swinging the blade, it cuts cleanly through the neck. The head flies through the air, hits into the wall of fire, and just kind of for a moment. the body.
I thought you will.
Then I'm going to step here. And I am not minding the fire. And I'm going to go for the second one.
Okay.
No, so I said be careful. It's hot over there.
What are you doing to the other one? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to hit it with my glaive for 24.
That'll hit.
It's 11 magical slashing.
All right. It hurts. It's heavily wounded now.
Now I will take a... Let's see, that was... Yeah, I can take a couple steps back to here. There you go.
Right. So you get out of the wall of fire.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, we have the big bulbous troll is gonna walk up to Nos.
Excellent. I make an opportunity attack. That's 25 to hit.
25 does hit it.
11 slashing.
All right. As it takes 11 points of slashing. Where you cut along this troll, it seems to spray out, and you take... you take 12 points of poison damage. Okay. As it steps up to you, instead of like reaching out to slash at you like the other ones have been doing, this one just kind of leans back a little bit, really stretching out its belly, grabs its heavy claw, and just cuts itself open.
Ew.
That's dark.
Spewing its stomach bile all over
It's a boomer.
Knots. You know, that's the
Reload
second
him.
time someone's made that joke.
I'm sorry for being unoriginal.
No, it's apt. Only I don't actually know what a boomer is.
That's good.
Yeah.
Video game.
I know it's. I just never played it. I should. All right. I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
I will. Let's see. Am I in range? Yeah. So I got 3 friendos. I will add a +3 to that. Make it a 15.
Okay. Right. You will take. You'll take 21 points of poison damage as you fail to succeed
Excuse me,
at
sorry.
that save.
Ah! Ew! Ah!
As the poison sprays out onto you, a little bit of the fumes, the nasty, wretched stench of this creature's innards just seems to seep into your nostrils, really flares the inside of your body. You are now poisoned for a minute. A poisoned creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on a success. Okay.
Okey-doke.
Okay. You good. All right, cool. Then that is all it does, though it will move ever so slightly and finish moving around Nos's body, but staying close to it. That troll is dead. So, Kale, what would you like to do?
I'm not gonna do anything fancy. Kale's just he's gonna make another modifier, and this one he's gonna do it underhand, like really carefully, and actually he's gonna lean down. You know, how people with basketballs that are like bad at it do the thing.
Granny shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that and rip his headphones out. Jack. Throw a mode of flame at the not poisony troll.
Okay.
Oh boy, that's a 14.
A 14, did you
Uh-huh.
say?
Yeah.
That's going to miss.
So it just like arcs really high into the air and then just like drops on the ground like right in front of him. Whoops! Next turn.
Anything else from you?
Well, actually, yeah, I'll go over here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's that creature's turn, so it's going to move around a little bit to get away from the fire. It does not like fire. But since it has yet to take any fire damage, it does regenerate some of its form.
I tried.
Yep, you did. It'll turn around and attempt to grapple Wampum.
Yeah, good luck with
So
that.
Wampum, I need you to roll either an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Okay. Let's see. We are going to do athletics. And that's going to be a 13.
It grabs hold of you. It has you grappled now. It is going to pick you up and move you and it ever so slightly. Let go of you next to the fire.
Okay.
And then attack you with you between it and the fire. So, bite attack is going to be a 26 to hit
That will hit.
for 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then one other claw attack will be a 17 to hit.
Nope.
All right, never mind. But it's still got you grappled.
Okay.
It's not going to actually drop, but it's still got you grappled. All right. It is technically still within 10 feet, so I'm going to have it make a dexterity saving throw.
18.
It fails the save. How much fire damage does it take?
15, unless you want me to reroll it.
That's up to you. I'll let you choose.
Yeah, I'll reroll it. It's 5d8.
Okay.
20.
All right. Takes 20 points of fire damage, and he is burning. All right. Ali.
I am going to let my wings unfurl, and I will go after the troll that just grabbed Wampum towards his back, and I'm going to attempt to jab my short sword right into near his spine, and then fire my crossbow quarrel into him.
Okay. So we need to clarify. You need to be able to reload your crossbow.
Okay.
And you need a free hand to be able to do that. So at some point you need to spend some time without a sword in your hand to be able to, between shots of your crossbow.
Okay.
Now,
I will just use the crossbow then.
Okay.
So drop the short sword. And
you can
switch to the
sheath.
crossbow and reload.
You can sheath
okay.
the short sword rather than dropping it, but you do have to spend a bit of time one-handed to be able to reload it. Okay.
I will do that. And then I will. Oops, I should probably select that. Go right here and fire into his back.
Okay.
You do have advantage.
I do have advantage. Oh, this should probably have the additional +8 on it. So 19.
19 will hit.
And that will be 1d6 plus 4. 6 damage, and then sneak attack. 10, 16, 19, 25 total damage with
Okay.
the original.
This guy is looking very wounded as he almost falls under all of the weight of these attacks. Anything else from you, Ali?
I will stay where I am.
Okay. Wampum, you're currently grappled by this creature. If you end your turn grappled, you will have to avoid the fire damage.
Okay. I will go ahead and try to break his grapple.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
That's going to be a 25.
You will break the grapple.
Okay.
Kind of shove its hand down, breaking bits of its bone as you do
And
so.
I will move to here, which is not out of his threat range yet.
Correct.
And then I'm going to throw my attack at the ugly one.
Okay, so you're going to make a ranged attack while you're in melee.
Yes, I'm throwing out of it. I'm throwing it to the other one.
Yeah, you'll do this at disadvantage then. Because you're in melee with one beast, you can't make a ranged attack at another without some sort of penalty.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a 22.
At disadvantage.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. That will hit.
And throwing it. Which is going to be 15 points of damage.
Okay.
And I want it to make a menacing attack save.
Okay.
DC 17 wisdom.
It succeeds the save.
Okay.
However, when the hammer hits it,
Uh-huh.
it pushes in on a portion of the creature, and its belly kind of squeezes out of the wound that it had opened. Another bit of poison, and Nos takes an additional 11 points of poison damage.
And it's
Okay.
also going to take an additional 5 points of damage from the menacing attack.
Yep. Anything else from you, Wampum?
And because breaking the grapple was one of my actions, right?
Strictly speaking, it's a full action to do that, but
Yep.
I'm
Yep,
gonna consider it's actually just an attack.
Okay.
But it's a full action to break out of a grapple. All right.
And then I am going to use a bonus action.
To do what?
And use my second wind.
Okay.
So that is a DC 10
It-
plus 9. So I'm going to get 14 points back.
All right. Lafcadio, what would you like to do?
I will step up to this troll and throw my net on him. I'll roll a 28 to hit.
You have disadvantage with a net.
With the crossbow expert feat, I do not have disadvantage within 5 feet.
Woo, woo.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yep.
And okay, so he is now restrained. So then
Okay.
I will use a bonus action to pull out my hand crossbow and shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
22 to hit,
It hits.
11 damage.
He's hurt.
And I will
Anything else?
end my turn there.
Okay. We are on Nos. What would you like to do, Nos?
Don't you try to start to walk away from me. I'm gonna get here and back to back with Wampum. And I'm poisoned, so this is a disadvantage.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
That is a 19.
That will hit.
That is 17 slashing, magical slashing, on top of 8 radiant.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yep.
You will take 10 points of poison damage.
Okay.
It's heavily wounded, but it's still up.
Doing it again. That is an 18.
That still hits.
I can't click the.
Do it. Click it.
Can someone else click it for me real quick?
Done.
Thank you.
All the clicks.
We all did. Pick
Appreciate
which one you want.
I can't see the bottom one.
16 or 12.
I'll
you
take the
deal-
16.
16 points of damage. to the
You're
three
welcome.
You will take 9 points of poison damage.
Okay.
All right. Anything else from you?
It's not dead yet.
It's not dead yet.
Action surge.
Okay.
Aw.
21. That's gonna hit.
Am I
Would you
clicking
like
the
me
thing?
to?
Yeah. Something's
So-
happened where the result of the roll, you know how get to see the math? It's frozen. So I can't see whatever the bottom bit is.
Fair enough. So
Oh,
that's
no.
14 points of damage against this creature.
Great. Still going.
As you land that blow, you do take another 9 points of poison damage,
All right. She's starting to wobble.
but it falls at your feet in a big pile of bile and guts, just
Ugh.
spewing out, spreading from the point that it's at. Anything else from you, Nos?
I think I can still make a half attack on this guy that's still up.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
It's within 10.
And you have advantage because he is restrained.
Well, are you
Well,
still
it's
poisoned?
Oh, yeah, true. So it's just straight up normal.
14.
That will miss.
Okay, that's fine. And now, can I be unpoisoned now?
Roll a save. Constitution save.
Nah.
Nah.
Ugh,
So,
so smelly.
right. As the Venom Troll has not taken any fire damage in the past turn, it stands back up.
Oh.
And let's see if it's... Ooh, yes. So, as the Venom Spray has recharged, it will step
Oh,
slightly to the side to have Nos and a Wampum and Lafcadio within range.
Crikey!
And it cuts itself even more and spews even more stomach acids everywhere. So I need Lafcadio, Nos, and Wampum to roll Constitution saving throws.
23.
Wampum has a 23.
9. That was a nat 1.
That's not too good, you know.
No, probably not.
Did it get the other troll as well?
It is in a 15-foot cube, so originating from it, yeah, why not? That thing's gonna die anyway, so
Oh.
it died. All right. Actually, no, it doesn't die because trolls are. No, not this one. Fair enough. Yeah. So, sorry. What did we get? We got Wampum and Lafcadio both got 23, and Nos got a 9. Okay. Nos, you take another 28 points of poison damage.
Ooh, Nos is down.
Wampum and Lafcadio both take half at 14 points of poison damage.
And then I take half again because I am resistant, right?
Yes, you are. So 7 points of poison damage. Okay. And then, yeah. Kale, what would you like to do?
I guess at this time he makes the mote of flame in his hand, and then he like lobs it up a little bit, and then he flicks it with his thumb. And we'll see if that works at the only standing troll right now.
It does.
Oh my god, I rolled a 1. No! It's just like he goes to flick it, he just misses, and it just drops on the ground.
Kale, mate, I thought you said you're supposed to hit these things with fire.
Shut it. Then to help feel useful, he casts a cheeky little healing word. He just shouts like "Get up!" to Nos, and she gets health back.
How much?
7.
Okay. You have 7 hit points, Nos. Allie,
Okay.
All
what are you
right.
going to do?
I am going to sheath my crossbow and start lighting my torch. Would that take a full action or a half action?
To light a torch,
Yeah.
I think is an action to do. So,
All right. And I will also move. Do.
5, 10,
Yep.
Wampum.
And yep.
Oh, anything else from you?
Cunning action. I'm also going to hide behind that tree.
With a lit torch.
Well, while I'm lighting it. Kind of crouch behind it and just use it for cover.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Wampum.
Wampum is going to turn the pointy end of the hammer around and say, let's see how you can do with some more holes.
Okay.
And that's a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that's 14 points of damage.
Nice. Both you and Nos will take 15 points of poison damage
And back down.
as a result of hitting the venom troll.
Okay.
What you gonna do, Wampum?
I'm gonna swing at it again.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 24 to hit.
That'll hit it. How much
With
damage?
another 14 points of damage.
Okay. With this strike, the venom troll falls once again. As
All
it
right,
falls
can
to the ground.
I use my movement, grabbing it and dragging it to the flame?
Before you do that, both you and Nos will also take another 14 points of poison damage. So that's one failed death save from Nos.
Okay.
And in order for you to do so, you would need to grapple it. And
Gotcha.
you can't grapple it without an extra attack.
Understand.
Okay. So anything else from you, Wampum?
Since it is dead, I'm gonna move to here. And just so I'm out of the spray.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be into mine.
Okay, Lafcadio.
I will start my turn by observing that the troll is within 10 feet of the flame wall and should have made a dex save previously, and I forgot to mention that. So I don't know if the heat prevents the regeneration.
Does it still take damage on a successful save?
Let's see.
Scrolling up.
Scroll.
Yes, it does. It's half.
Okay. All right. Then, sure. Then it would have taken fire damage, so it's dead.
All right. Well, then I will use my healing light to raise Nos back up and do 24 HPs of Nabanion's majestic healing aura.
When she comes to, she's just going to continue laying there like, oh.
Nos, get out of there. That can't be good for you. It's not hygienic.
Crawling away.
No, don't crawl away. Drag that other one into the fire.
I'll take care of it, me girl. Just go ahead and get yourself out.
I set out my torch. With a heavy sigh that I didn't get to use it.
Okay. So, with these dead trolls at your feet, what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna look for the guard.
Yeah.
Who
By the way-
ran away under the order he had received. Yeah?
Well, told him to hide.
Most of Nos's upper half is completely, like, her outer shirt is completely deteriorated, and half of her cloak is hanging off. And those who can observe it will see that her chest is still bound, decently, but across her upper back is a tattoo in Old English font that says "Born to Die."
Nice.
She's quite the thug.
Perception check if you want to try and find the
Did
guard
we,
that
did
led
we
you
catch?
out.
Did we catch his name?
Yes, I will.
No, I don't think he did.
That would be a 20 total
was it-
with my
It
plus
wasn't
10.
Jordan, was it?
No,
Jordan was the
Jordan was
kid.
the name of the kid.
Yeah, that was the kid. Sorry.
22
All
perception.
right.
20
You will see a tree that's shaking a little too furiously right now.
Mike,
Off to the side of the wall of the city.
Mike, you can come out. It's safe now.
We
But-
promised not to hurt you.
What were those things?
Trolls? You never heard of trolls before?
Yes, but they don't usually come to the city walls. They usually stay in the Evermoors. Are you okay?
Let me
I'm
tell
okay.
you something. You've got about 5 seconds before I drive this fist in your mouth. You need to tell us who sent you this way.
My superior told me to
And the
come
name is.
Captain Sang.
That was the guy that interrogated us.
Mm-hmm.
And where would he be located at?
Probably at the one of the guard posts.
Like which one?
Near the western gate. The guardhouse is right there next to it. I'm honestly, I hope the High Marshal is okay. He was supposed to be here. Do you think the trolls got him?
I am gonna fly
I
up.
don't think he was even here. Your captain has something against us.
Oh,
Well, that's a bit of a leap.
No, it'd be not. Me got short legs.
I'd like to
know
fly
what
up
I-
and look
I
around the
know
area
what I seen.
as Wampum's talking to this guy.
what are you looking for?
I'm
Alec.
looking for any humanoid individuals in the area that we were like near the wall. On the outside of the wall on our side.
Roll a perception check.
Alright, my natural is a 20, and this would be a 25.
You don't see, other than you, there's no one outside the wall right now.
Alright, and then I will fly back down. There wasn't anything or anyone outside the wall. This was definitely a setup.
Wampum is going to go over and cut the trolls' heads off. Well, the 2 remaining ones that still have the heads.
Okay. As you try to bring your blade to cut off the head of the venom troll, it will continue to spew venom viciously everywhere. So you need to be careful with it
Okay.
to ensure that no one gets hurt. But yes, you get the venom troll head and the normal troll head.
Normal troll.
Can I use the vials I have in my poisoner's kit to get some of that vial, or the bile from the venom troll?
You proficient in poisonous kit?
Yep.
Okay.
That's an assassin thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not questioning whether or not you're proficient. I'm just trying to remember the rules of extracting venom and bile and poison and things from downed creatures, that sort of thing. Go ahead and roll. Well, which of your skills would you be utilizing? Is this going to be mostly your intelligence, just knowing how to do it? Dexterity to make sure that you keep your fingers
Dexterity.
out? All right,
keep
so
my
roll
fingers.
a dexterity check and add your proficiency
Okay.
modifier.
That would be what is this? A 19 plus my proficiency, which is a 4, so 23.
You are able to get 1 vial of poison out of the remains.
All right, I will nestle that in a nice little container in my poisoner's kit to keep it from breaking or shattering in my back,
Okay.
and tuck it back in, and that'll be that.
The guard. We should probably head back into the city before anything else comes
Yes,
out.
you will be taking us to Captain Sang is what you be doing.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. And he'll start leading you back inside the city.
And let me tell you what you're going to say. When you go in, you're going to be introducing us as the party that I was sent to take outside the walls to meet, you know who. Correct?
Well, yes, the High Marshal. Yes.
Yes. So you will announce what your duty was for. And then we be following you in the office.
Of course. Of course.
Just making it straight to you.
Okay. Leads you towards the guardhouse, the tall barracks that has where most of the guards have been. The Knights in Silver, particularly, not the Spell Guard. The Knights in Silver tend to keep themselves. He'll lead you and let you follow him into the tower and around up the stairs to some of the side rooms. You can see a little kind of mess area where people would congregate, sit and relax for a moment. But then next to it is Captain Sang's office. He knocks on the door and pokes his head in. "Oh, you come, please come inside." Captain Sang is there against his table and going over some paperwork. "Yes, what is this? Is everything all right?" And he announces that he was commanded to take the people out to see the High Marshal. To which point Captain Sang just looks lost. "I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. Is everything all right with you all?"
I'm going to come in and I'm going to throw the first troll head at him. That was mistake number 1. I'm going to throw the second troll at him. That was mistake number 2. I'm going to take the poison troll and I'm going to make sure that this lands in his lap. That's the third mistake.
Can I insight check the captain to see if he was actually confused?
Check him.
Yeah. And Allie's gonna subtly be shifting outside of the office and looking to see if anyone's watching.
Yeah.
That's a 3.
Yeah. With
He
your
did
3,
it! He's the culprit!
he looks genuinely confused by the situation. Ali, you look back immediately. The noise that Wampum is making is drawing all of the guards to your location, all of them pulling their blades out at the ready. The guard captain stands up as you're throwing these troll heads at him. And, excuse me. It's 1 o'clock in the morning here in Germany, so I'm not really going to shout. But imagine this is told with a really shouting voice right now. Okay? "How dare you accuse me of foul play, dwarf? You come in here and start throwing a head at me. This is outrageous. You are supposed to be guests of this city. You honored us by saving the children, but don't let that get carried away. Your insolence and your behavior today."
Did you or did ye not tell him to take us out the front gate?
No. And it would be better for you, dwarf, to actually investigate and question before you start accusing people of foul play.
I'm going to turn to the guard that brought us in here. Did he or did he not tell you?
Yeah. He did.
So, who's lying?
Not me. You're the one coming up with foul. What is this troll's head you're throwing at me? I have half a mind to throw you in the stocks right now.
You wouldn't even begin to get your hands on me.
Wampum, mate. Wait.
Even
I'm gonna
you insult me.
de-escalate. I'm inserting myself into the conversation. I just step in between. Pardon, mate. Just and getting a little comfortable.
obviously been some foul play and some confusion going around.
We
It
agree.
would be great
I'm
if you
glad.
would calm down.
So why did you tell this guard here to take us at the front gate?
Wampum,
did-
mate. It seems like. See, and then I'll disguise myself and make myself look like the guard captain. I'll say, it seems like they might have used one of these. Like someone did a presto changeo to make someone think they were someone else, and I'll switch back to Lafcadio.
Why? Why'd he become so ugly all of a sudden?
Are
Wampum,
any
mate.
of the guards in the hallway the same ones that questioned us yesterday?
Them plus
Or the
others.
what-
It's all of the at this point it's all of the city guard that's ready and willing to take you into custody.
Wampum, mate. I think someone, not any of these good folk, but someone set us up. I think these folk are just as confused as we are. I think together, us working as a team, we can figure this out together. I'm sure if you wouldn't want someone to accuse you of something you didn't do, so I'm sure that you can understand the guards' response to the accusation. Mr. God, very sorry. If we could work together to figure this out, that'd be grand.
We need to figure this out. Firstly, my men would not be commanded to gather people to have an audience with the High Marshal. That is not the way things would happen. So, someone must have magically bewitched this soldier here.
If that be the case, then he has my apologies. But I still angry, you understand? You don't want to make a dwarf angry, I said.
As this is going on, Allie's tail just like curls around the doorknob and like pulls it shut, leaving everyone in there, and she's just like eyeing the guards, be like, "Let them hash it out."
You see
turns
my
to
girl
the
here?
soldier.
My
Yeah.
girl, she got in combat, I say.
It's fine.
And you see all this, I mean, there's blood dripping off of
Mhm.
Wampum's arms.
Yeah.
This be happening because apparently from him, you set us at the front gate.
Which I didn't. So,
So you can
let's
be
forget
understanding
about it.
why I be so angry when I be dripping blood.
Let me
Yes,
translate.
but let's focus on something else right now. Can
He just
we
means
drop-
he's generally angry. He said he offered his apologies. He just can't do much about the general anger towards whoever started this. It's no longer necessarily at you. We all apologize.
You need to learn to handle your rage.
It's gotten me out of too much stuff, so I won't be doing yet.
So,
there's
We
three
need to-
less trolls to worry about. So, bright side, things are looking up,
Yes.
right? Right.
and not just any troll, venom trolls as well. Okay, look, soldier, sit down. And the person does so. Stand up. And he stands up. Turn around. And he turns around. I'm curious. It seems my men don't usually act so subserviently. Certainly, if I were to ask them to sit down, they wouldn't immediately sit down.
Cluck like a chicken, mate. Okay, you
Knox
can
busts
you can
the gut
stop.
laughing.
You can stop.
Does anyone know of any way in which we can break enchantments on him?
I'll put a knot on his head.
I don't know what that means. You've said that 3 times tonight, and I'm not sure what you mean by that.
I'll knock his butt out.
Okay, well, that might not help us. Must we go and involve one of the wizards? Or I would prefer to be able to deal with it in-house. That way we don't have to involve anyone that might actually be suspect.
This is all.
Mr. Gale, you got anything in them magic tricks?
Yeah, this all seems very magic-y. Why aren't you talking?
I just wanted to let you guys figure it out. It was really funny.
Well, put the hat back on your head and do something.
I'm gonna smack him upside the head for saying all this is funny.
Okay. I need to react to that. I don't know. He goes to start pulling something out of his satchel, then he gets smacked upside the head, and he stops and he looks her dead in the eyes and says,
Not enough to
"Apologize.
do any damage.
Apologize right now."
You apologize. You said that this is funny. It's not funny. We got seriously injured. I almost died. Is that funny? Come on, man. It hurt my feelings.
All right. Well, as hurt as your feelings might be, my face kind of hurts right now.
It was back here.
Physically, whatever. My face still hurts somehow. I don't know how you did it.
You want to do it back?
No, I just want you to apologize.
I'm sorry, but you understand where that came from, right? And that it was instigated. Yes?
I don't think it called for physical violence, but all the same, I'm
It's a
sorry
love tap. Oh my
that I
God.
hurt your feelings.
Allie
I'm
calls
sorry
in
I
through
hurt
the
your
door.
face.
Don't sound so pretentious.
Alright, enough of this I sorry crap.
Kill sighs and reaches into his component pouch and grabs a handful of 100 gold pieces worth of diamond dust and chucks it at the guy and casts Greater Restoration on him.
Okay. Immediately, his eyes widen as magic is dispelled off of his person, and I'm so sorry.
What's the deal, man? What happened?
I'm gonna scoop up the diamond dust.
Well, it's gone. It disappeared.
I don't. This morning I was doing my usual patrols, my rounds, and a cloaked figure stepped in front of me. Next thing I know, I feel this sudden compulsion to obey every command given to me.
Cloaked figure. How tall was this cloaked figure?
He was about.
Did he forget?
Did we lose? Aaron, if you can hear us, we cannot hear you.
Well, we can kind of hear you. Sounds like you hit a lag spike.
Yeah. We didn't do a good cop, bad cop routine this time.
Not yet.
The bunch of bad cops.
We're like good cop, bad cop, and the innocent bystander outside the door.
So, shadowy figure. Who do we think that guy is?
Yeah, he was kind of a shadowy figure in a robe.
It was Strahd. For some reason, somehow.
Makes sense. We need to get into the Shadowfell somehow.
Yep. Might as well go to Ravenloft. I don't know how the half-rate heroes would survive in Ravenloft.
When we were getting half now and half later, I was like, oh, that's so on brand. It's there it is.
Right. Maybe it's just this time of night. Maybe in Germany, 1 o'clock you go to sleep. That is it. No internet for you. All right. Where was I?
It was a cloaked figure.
And he
was
yay high.
We asked the high.
So-
I thought it was. Yeah.
He was about 7 foot, maybe taller. Hood came up over his forehead and eyes. It was difficult to be able to see.
So
But
you
I
didn't
did,
make eye contact?
I tried. It's very difficult to remember.
What sort of frame did they have?
He was a large, well-built individual. It looked like his head was bald.
Did he have tattoos all over the place?
I didn't see he was completely covered.
What was his voice like?
Quite very deep, but very soft spoken. Wasn't harsh. Everything that he said just felt comfortable to listen to. It was a strange. He looked like he should be menacing, but sounded and his demeanor seemed very charismatic.
Well, that is likely the result of the charm.
Possibly.
Mr. Guard Captain Sang, do you want to get in on this? You probably know a lot about interrogating people, right?
Yes, but not when magic is involved, really. That's usually the spell guard's area of expertise. They tend to question, but without actually questioning him, more like use magics to understand what happened. Perhaps, can we be certain at least that this individual that you saw was new? Like, you've never seen him before in Silvermoon? Yes, of course, sir. Completely, like, never seen an individual like that before. Okay. I believe him. Do you? And he turns to you lot.
Let me do an insight check.
Okay.
That is 20.
Okay. You do believe him that this particular soldier has never seen an individual of this manner in Silvermoon prior to this event.
Should we check and make sure Mithrama's all right?
That might be a good idea. He's probably still in the palace. He has no real reason, as far as I know, to leave it. We should check with him. I would like to perhaps take this soldier and have him examined magically to see if one can get any sort of memory off of him. Yes?
May I make a suggestion, please?
Okay.
I think that 7 foot tall, bald head, probably had tattoos.
Maybe, yes.
I'm sure he may be standing out.
Mm-hmm.
If ye guards are on the lookout for an individual such as this description, that he may be a little easy to find.
I will set out a search for anyone matching that description. Have you What's this about tattoos? I don't get. Do you have a thing about people with tattoos?
No, our previous encounter involved a Goliath of the description that this guard put out. But the tattoos that this Goliath be wearing, they be moving like magical type means, I say. So this individual may be worth finding.
It's a good idea, Master Dwarf. We will try to look out for and find him. Right. Yes. We should find out if Methrama is okay.
Lead the way, good sir.
He opens the door, which Ali is behind, calls forth one of his men to clean up the mess that Wampum left in his desk. And let's head on out. As leading away, he takes the no longer charmed soldier away from the city, but he doesn't like clap him in irons, doesn't try to restrain him or anything, just walk him through the city, trying not to draw any sort of attention, because a member of the city's guard under arrest looks really bad. So he will then begin to approach.
Can I?
Yep.
So while we're walking from place to place, I would like to catch up and walk just beside the guard captain. It's like, listen, again, really sorry about the misunderstanding earlier. I hope we can move past it. Like, we're all on the same team.
We're all good. We
Right.
just need to calm down. Yes,
Super.
Nos.
And I was wondering if perhaps the dust that my mate threw at the god to cure him of the madness that had taken him was very expensive. So I know that we don't want to raise any suspicions or alarms. If you could perhaps requisition replacement of my mate's stocks, that would be great. I'd really appreciate it.
Roll a persuasion check.
That would be 20.
I will see what I can do.
Great. Good on you, mate.
Right.
I know.
What were you going to say, Nos?
Walk back.
I'm gonna match paces with Kale and start a conversation. Say, Kale, look, I really am sorry. I didn't think that would be received like that, and it won't happen again if it is going to be received like that. That's not too far apart where I've come from as a sign of affection, and you're not one of those people. You're not Wampum. You're Kale, and please don't be mad at me.
That's fine. I just don't like to have my head touched.
Okay.
But it's fine. Just don't do that.
Won't. Sorry.
Thanks. And I apologize for making light of the situation.
I'm still very wounded. Wampum took quite a beating, and I don't like seeing him like that under duress, and it's not very funny. But I like you, and I hope you like me, and we work good together. So I'm just gonna put this behind us.
Okay.
The guard captain leads you through the city, but he tries to avoid some of the major streets and walk around the outside of town. As you begin to approach the palace, you walk slightly away from the palace again, but this time you actually enter into a courtyard that's just to the western, just attached to the palace, but on the west side. As you step through, you hear a lot of noise, a lot of crashes, sounds of lightning, flame exploding. shouts, orders, commands, swords hitting one another. Sounds like battle is going on. But then you walk around a corner. It opens out into this enormous courtyard where you watch training exercises are underway. The city's spell guard is currently practicing and doing drills, and so you have a number of mages using various forms of abjuration or conjuration type magics to try and test the prowess of the spell guard soldiers, and each of which are very carefully responding and reacting to the magic attacks that are going on. It's a delicate display and a very impressive, well organized act of training between mages and soldiers, all kind of working together and testing each other's capabilities. He takes you past this group, and immediately all of them stop their various spell casting and attacks as you begin to walk around this courtyard till you get to the spell guard captain. Sir, Captain Lee, we have a bit of a problem, and we need one of your mages to help us with investigating this. This young individual has been charmed, and we need to get some information from his memory. I know that you've done that in the past with other prisoners. Please do it as delicately as you can. We will. He's not at fault. He was just charmed. Please. And so, sure enough, he'll take the soldier, and they'll go off and they'll start questioning him and his state. We should go speak to Mithrama. Are you in agreement?
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, leading you back out, as soon as you leave the courtyard, training exercises go back out, and a stray bolt of Eldritch Blast or something, a firebolt, will just fly off towards you and then get caught by an invisible barrier that just stops any sort of ill activities, any accidents from harming any of you. You step out of the training area and lead around to the main entrance of the palace. The palace is very quiet at this time in the morning. It's very early. Basically just the local gentry moving about and the servants working, but nothing too busy or frivolous going on. Leading you in through the front gate, he'll nod to a couple of the guards and say, I'm taking them to meet with Mithrama. He's in the drawing room right now. So up the stairs, around the corner. The palace is well decorated with beautiful tapestries of the gem of the north that is Silvery Moon in all of its glory, and all of the previous leaders of Silvery Moon in there. A couple prominent members of history are shown. Eventually you're led into the drawing room with Mithrama. See, he's here and he's fine. Excuse us, sir, Lord High Marshal. These individuals would like to have a meeting with you. Glad to see everything's okay. Yes, of course, everything's fine. So okay. So, what can I do for? You're back, obviously. I heard you were successful. Thank you for saving those children.
Captain Singh, before you leave, mate.
Yes.
Do you want to fill the Lord, whatever the rank is of this gentleman?
High Marshal.
High Marshal.
So he does. He fills him in on what's going on and explains the situation, how people were tricked into thinking you would be having a meeting with with these people, and it led them into a dangerous trap that was outside. Someone is acting nefarious around here and utilizing the trolls for ill reason. So,
Thanks, mate.
thank you. So he'll step back. I assume you've probably done something to annoy someone to warrant an attack such as that. Tell me, are you all okay?
I'd be dripping some blood still.
I am still heavily wounded as well.
Oh,
They
please
may
sit
also
down.
need clothes.
Yeah, I need clothes.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was just what you wore. I mean,
No, I am a civilized hobgoblin. Thank you very much.
okay, right. Well, sure. Let me servants, food, cloth, robes, for all of them, please, and wine, plenty of wine.
Mead. Thunderbelly ale, I say.
Well, if they have it, I'm sure they will.
I need a full barrel after this one.
Fair enough. So, great, you saved the children. Wonderful. I'm sure that Lord Belgadere would be glad to know that you were successful. I owe him another favor.
Keep watch over those children. The Unseelie Court may not be done with them yet.
The Unseelie Court at them?
They were wanted and they were held by the Summer Queen for protection from them.
Oh. Well, okay. We'll take care. Make sure that they're safe.
Mr. Kale, if he don't mind me starting a conversation here, what be the process of what's that magical word you say? Scrying. That's it, scrying.
Mm-hmm.
What be needed to find this 7-foot individual?
I would need to have a familiarity with them, and preferably something off their person, like a small part of their body, lock of hair, a nail, piece of flesh for some reason.
Well, if I was just gonna if you could read that guard's mind that saw this individual, could ye be using that information?
I don't think so. And I'm not sure that would be, and I think I would have to personally be familiar with this creature. I can try and scry on them without having just heard of them. Through secondhand knowledge, I can attempt to find them. However,
Plus, they don't have hair, so we can't take that.
without any sort of possession of theirs or likeness, like a picture that someone took of them, an actual physical copy of it, it'll be much more difficult to try and find them.
I'd just be asking. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hi, Marshal Mithrama.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand, the character that created this crystal in the Feywild, we think that description matches the description of the ne'er-do-well who charmed your guard earlier today.
So it would seem that maybe he knows what you did in the Feywild then.
That is one possibility, that he knew where we would be, and he knew we would seek you out, and therefore find someone to tell us to go into a trap. A very likely scenario. Another scenario is he was trying to get you alone. So do you have any enemies that might be trying to do you ill presently?
I thought I was in relative peace right now. I mean, yes, everyone has people that don't like him. Being in any sort of position of power, there's hundreds of people that want you dead, but no one comes to mind right now that would utilize this kind of methods.
And you don't have any run-ins with Goliaths or 7-foot tall, gray-skinned, bald blokes?
No, not in a very long time.
Go on.
And I've traveled. I mean, my lady, my mother taught me all about the different kinds of people there are in the world, and we met a couple, but I've never done ill toward a Goliath before. Oh. Right, but if he placed a crystal within the Feywild and knows enough about your activities that he knows to go after you, and he charmed someone this morning, he must be pretty. He must be pretty close.
Stands to reason.
We told ye's ye guard captain and your guards to look out for such individuals, cause we's believed in that he's going to be standing out. You see.
I want to lean over to Kale. Have the drinks and the food arrived to us yet?
Yes, plenty of drink, food. A nice, big, flowing red robe has been brought for Nos to cover her a person, should she desire.
Interesting.
I want to see if any of these servants seem out of place.
Insight check.
Any 7-foot tall, bald, gray-skinned servants?
He's like, don't mind me.
Wearing fake hair and a dress.
All right, that would be a 14 total.
And no, none of them look out of place.
Okay.
Well, do you know anyone who's ever been in league with the trolls before? Because that seems like a very novel alliance one could make.
Yes. I mean, I've heard of certain hunters enticing these creatures to areas, baiting them into spaces. But that's usually to get them alone so that they can hunt them and kill them. But to see trolls this far out of the Evermoors, I mean, they don't usually come all the way out to the city.
On top of that, there were no guards patrolling that section of wall we were walking by.
No?
Just an observation I made right now.
It would seem I don't know who we can trust or can't trust within the city. Perhaps you can help root out anyone that might have. I doubt this is something that one person could have done by themselves. So we need to be able to find out who may or may not have been involved.
Well,
And for that, we'll need your help as well.
if this person is after us, we seem to be their only actual target. We haven't caught any evidence of them spinning any more plots throughout the city. As far as we know, this is just the individual that's responsible for all these planar disturbances. I would suggest that if we leave the city, this individual will as well. And since we were going to leave anyway, shouldn't be a big deal.
But that leaves you in danger, and I would feel amiss just allowing you to take yourselves as bait and pull any danger away from my city. I would prefer people leave safely.
Well, we're not citizens of your city, and better us than them.
We could
On
also
top of that, a great man like yourself has access to multitudes of magical items or any assets as in your mages that may be able to scry us and track from afar and alert us when such enemies act.
Perhaps, yes. Yeah.
we might also just tell everyone we're going to one place and then go somewhere else. We could just throw them off our scent.
That could work.
We have some destinations that we have in mind. Obviously, don't want to just announce them for all the world to hear. Maybe we could talk more privately without servants around, and you could let us know what options you might counsel.
Sure. Go on. Move. No. Leave. Okay. Eventually, doors will all close, and you'll be alone with Mithrama.
So we can travel from a few places using teleportation circles. One place that we do not have a circle to is Citadel Felbar, and that's on our list of to-dos. If you have a magical means to convey us to that distance, that might be great. Or we were also going to head back down to Everland. If you could zap us over there.
Well, I do know of plenty of individuals capable of casting the teleportation circle spell. But sadly, Citadel Felbar has been very tight on their access, and no one here has access to that city that way. But if you have teleportation sigils, like circles, that can be used, like if you know them, one of our mages could send you to any of those destinations.
So
That's
I
right.
say
That's how that works.
Yeah.
I say
So,
you
I guess
send
what
out
I'm
a
trying
word.
to, real quick, just try to make sure that you understand, because the Harpers gave you the sigils to those locations, you don't have to go to Everland to be able to use the network. You can teleport to any of the network hubs just whenever you use the teleportation circle spell. So he could have anyone send you to any of those spots if you wish. Sorry, go ahead, Wampum.
No problem, sir. I was just saying that if you put out the word that we be heading to, let's say, Baldur's Gate, let's say, but we be actually heading to somewhere else, that might be a safety type thing, let's say.
We could throw a good well festival for the heroes, announcing that we'll be returning right away to Waterdeep.
What's a well festival?
I don't know. A farewell festival.
Farewell.
Oh, so I mean, just it sounds like something you're very familiar with. Could you maybe describe it to me in just a little bit more detail? Sorry to derail the conversation, but I'm very curious about this.
About a farewell festival?
Yes.
You announce you're going somewhere, and people throw up signs, and they have some music, maybe a bard playing, and it's a big hubbubaloo.
What?
A hubbubaloo.
Okay. And is this something that's common in the Underdark that happens a
No,
lot?
never. Everyone hates everybody.
Oh, where'd you hear about this from then?
I travel.
Where was the first place you saw one of these well festivals?
I forgot. As Kayla is saying this, she's getting growingly more disinterested in Kale's questions, and just kind of peers into her cup and just kind of takes a heavy sip, and then
Is this
looks
a
to
real?
Mithrammer. Can I
Is
keep
this a real
this?
thing? Did you just make this up, or
I would never. Kale, have I ever lied to you?
probably? Not that I'm
It's not-
particularly concerned about it.
Indeed. You shouldn't be the one accusing someone that you owe a favor to of being a liar.
I'm just trying to be honest.
Especially if you were
because
insisting
I
that
tell
they
the
just wanted to have a festival in their honor for kicks.
Anyways,
I'm just trying to
let's
collect,
bring
honest information for Denier.
the
But anyway, yeah, that's
conversation back. I like the idea, Master Thunderbelly, that you go one direction and we say you're going another. But perhaps we can go a little bit further with that. We pick certain circles of influence, and we say the destination you are headed to differently within the different circles of influence. Then, if we find out people are headed to Baldur's Gate, or they're headed to Waterdeep, or they go to Mirabar, or wherever you call out, then we have at least an idea of anyone within the city that might be in their hand.
Mr. Kale, did that make sense to you?
To be honest, I kind of was not paying attention. Yeah, it made sense. Yes, it made perfect sense.
I be for it then.
He's still thinking about the festivals. Right.
And
Okay, we're going to
where
go
is
one
it
place.
Where is it you are going to go?
I think we still have to decide that.
There's been this talk about me Citadel Adbar. So if we be going there, then we need to go to Marabar, I say.
Well, but there was no talk about going to Adbar. We were
No,
going to go
there was. What are you talking about?
Felbar.
Yes, there was. We were going to go to Adbar. I think that's where we'll go next, actually. We're going to go to Citadel Adbar next. But you should tell everybody that we're going to, let's say, what's in the totally other direction? I guess Baldur's Gate is a good one, right?
Okay.
I be seeing what you've been saying over there, Mr. Lion. I know. I'm not as stupid as I look.
Right.
It's not a difficult feat, but moving on.
I know there's a difference between Adbar and Felbar. I know this.
So you're going to Citadel Adbar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I looked to Nos and I'm like, yeah, are we?
I will begin to. Perhaps we can spread some rumors that you are headed to other locations over the course of the day before you do leave.
Could we
Sure, but
filter out those locations? Yeah.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
let's. Baldur's Gate.
Neverwinter. Who has the map?
Waterdeep. Just everywhere on the coast.
Ten
Luskin.
towns?
It'll be another one, I say.
Yeah, Luskin.
Luskin.
Bryn Shannon.
10 towns? Yep.
Yeah, 10 times. Yeah.
Other cities you want to blame?
Luskin?
We got Luskin already. Ooh, Candlekeep, of course.
If you're in the neighborhood.
I think that's enough rumors.
Great.
Okay. So, I'll make a note of that. And as you guys pack up and prepare to head out, or
To
do
Adbar.
whatever you wish to do to Adbar, I will share. I will mention offhand to a couple individuals these different locations. If you do the same thing, I think we might support that fact and help us root out any ne'er-do-wells.
Right.
You wouldn't have
Great.
a couple clerics to be spared, would you?
We will make sure that all of your wounds are stitched up. Don't worry.
Good, because me gauntlets are getting full.
Yep, you're dripping blood. I can see that, sir.
Tired of hearing Wampum complain about how injured he is, Kale will just put a hand on his shoulder and 4th level cure wounds him. Which is like a whole bunch of crap for you.
It's a lot of.
Yeah, you're way better. You feel great. It's 6 and 12 and 15 and 16 and 21 health back.
21. Let's see.
Good.
That got me up to about 75%.
Great. You guys can sleep the rest off, I'm sure.
With that, please eat. Take your fill. Enjoy yourselves for the remainder of your time in Silver Moon. I am sorry you feel the need to take danger with you, but my city is at your disposal for that purpose. And with that, we will end tonight's session as our heroes prepare to leave Silvery Moon to some location. Ooh, who knows where they will be headed. Join us next week as we continue this adventure through this strange planar issue adventure. Follow us on Twitter at Crituitous RP, Tumblr, crituitousrp.tumblr.com, all those wonderful things. We appreciate all of the follows, the shares, the tweets, so please keep it up and keep coming back to us. Check out our read broadcasts tomorrow and Tuesday. Thank you very much, folks, and good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.